Administration in a pair of immigration rulings. One allows the rejection of asylum seekers at the U.S.-Mexico border, says ABC's Devin Dwyer.
This was a decision over a policy from the first Trump administration known as metering or turn back. It was basically an effort to shut the door at ports of entry across the southern border to prevent migrants, immigrants, from even stepping foot on U.S. soil to file a claim for asylum.
The other case allows for the cancellation of temporary protective status for Syrians and Haitians living in the U.S. At least 164 people killed, nearly 1,000 injured, but those numbers are sure to go higher after a pair of powerful earthquakes rocked Venezuela. One quake was a magnitude 7.2 and the other a magnitude 7.5. The Fed's preferred inflation gauge out today shows prices up 4.1% between this May and last May. This is ABC News. Behind construction and oil field work, farming and ranching have the highest rates of suicide among all professions, according to the CDC. ABC's Jim Ryan in Texas has more on mental health services tailored to the agriculture community that are being rolled out nationwide.
The problems faced by farmers and ranchers are unrelenting.
You got data centers going up, taking the land. You've got drought, floods, wildfires, New World screwworm, rising input
Texas
costs,
Agriculture Commissioner Sid Miller.
There's a lot of uncertainty comes from living off the land.
He tells ABC News that the Agri-Stress Helpline hears from rural people in need daily.
We've saved over 300 lives here in Texas.
And nearly a dozen states now offer the service. Jim Ryan, ABC News in Dallas-Fort Worth.
If you or someone you know is struggling with thoughts of suicide, you can get help by calling 988. Apple is raising the price of some of its new MacBook Air and MacBook Pros, citing rising demand and rising cost of fitting the new laptops with AI-capable chips. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
A house exploded on Whidbey Island. More on that in just a moment. But first, KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. This traffic report is brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Right now on northbound I-5, just south of I-90 in Seattle, a collision is blocking the HOV and left lane. Incident response, State Patrol and fire crews are on the scene, so expect heavy delays there. We've also got a new crash on southbound I-5 at the Edmonds exit. The HOV lane there is blocked, so be prepared for delays. Right now, Lake Washington Windows and Doors is giving the first 40 June signups with 5 or more windows a free patio door plus 12-month free financing. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. 3 firefighters are recovering after a house exploded on Whidbey Island. It happened yesterday when crews rushed to a fire on Smuggler's Cove Road in Greenbank. Central Whidbey Fire and Rescue says the blast destroyed 2 homes and damaged a third. The 2 chiefs and 1 firefighter who got hurt are all in stable condition. 2 more people may have been injured but took themselves to hospital. The ATF is investigating. A West Seattle shooting overnight left a 17-year-old boy injured and police searching for several suspects. Seattle police say multiple 911 calls reported rapid gunfire in the High Point neighborhood after midnight. The teen was found with a gunshot wound in the hip area. He was taken to Harborview in serious but stable condition. Investigators say a suspect vehicle was later found crashed nearby and several people ran away. Police also report gunfire struck multiple vehicles and buildings, including a school. A 24-year-old man is presumed dead after disappearing at Alder Lake in Pierce County Wednesday. KIRO 7 TV's Gary Horker has details.
The sheriff's office confirming he fell off a paddleboard near the middle of the lake without wearing a life jacket. Deputies say the man's girlfriend witnessed the tragedy, called 911 at about 4 p.m. So far, the victim's body has not been found. The search continues. The Marine Service Unit is investigating.
A Coast Guard helicopter carried a dramatic rescue out the mountain in the Cascades on Saturday. Listen to this.
Yeah! Come save my friend!
Officials say a 33-year-old woman suffered serious injuries after falling about 120 feet into a deep gully on Mount Larrabee in the Mount Baker Wilderness. The hiker was stranded more than 6,700 feet up in remote terrain, and after a 40-minute search, the air crew flew the woman to Bellingham for medical care. We're learning 2 men are dead after a float plane hit a power line over the Columbia River. The Tri-City Herald reports it happened yesterday afternoon near Clover Island in Kennewick. The Franklin County coroner says both men on board died and crews recovered their bodies. The plane flew into a wire that crossed the river, dropping the plane and a live line into the water. Downtown Seattle was flooded with blue and white as Bosnia and Herzegovina took on Qatar for a surprise win yesterday. KIRO News Radio's Jillian Raftery was there.
There were high hopes.
You know, we need a win today.
And then there was the reality of the blowout 3-1 victory.
We smell like beer now because the celebrations were throwing beer at everybody.
For a team born out of a war-torn country that gained independence just 30 years ago and is only making its second World Cup appearance, it was a stunning milestone. In Seattle, Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
For your KIRO News Radio weather, it's cooler today, more comfortable with temperatures going into the 80s. Right now, it's about 59 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Where y'all been? It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Man.
Where you
I
been?
don't know where everybody been, Ursula. Good morning to you.
Hey, welcome back.
Man, these folks, they took off and ain't been back in a long time. I've been waiting on y'all. I've been waiting on you. Good morning to you.
Well, good morning. Coming up at 9:30, we're going to talk about what you've been experiencing the last couple of days.
Yeah.
You've had some big events recently.
Yeah.
And I'm going to share what happened when I pretended that I was a tourist for World Cup yesterday.
Okay.
And what I observed, I did share some of it on our Gee and Ursula Show Facebook page, so you can check out some pictures over there. I was busy thanking so many people yesterday for all that they've done to make this city and this region look so amazing for all our out-of-town guests. So we'll have that conversation coming up at 9:30. We're also going to talk to a business owner in the 11 o'clock hour, G, because he said something on social media that really kind of broke my heart a little bit. And it was something that was shared by some other business owners or residents of the Seattle Chinatown International District, talking about what they'd hoped for this World Cup and what they're actually seeing. So we will have that conversation. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line is 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
Top stories of the day brought to you by Pendergast Law.
And we're going to start with breaking news because Washington voters just got some major protection from a federal judge. Now, this U.S. District Court judge ruled that the Trump administration cannot interfere with our state's mail-in voting nor prosecute elections officials for refusing to comply with his unconstitutional executive order. So a proposed rule would have required states to turn over voter information to the federal government. And just this week, when the Postmaster General was asked about it in Congress, if USPS would still deliver ballots in states like ours that refused, he said no.
So yes or no, if a state refuses to turn their absentee voter list over to the federal government, will the Postal Service still mail their ballots under this proposal rule?
Under our proposed regulation, no. We would tell the state that we need the manifest in order to, look, what we're asking for.
That's the answer. You'd tell no. So the proposed rule basically coerces states to conform to these new requirements and hand over their absentee voter rolls or face the consequences of not being able to vote by mail. Some states, that's all they do.
Yeah, and that should have set off everyone's alarms because, of course, if our state elections officials refused to hand over voter information, our ballots would have been caught in the middle, not because we did anything wrong, but because there's some alleged massive fraud problem that the government is trying to fix, the federal government is trying to fix. And so they're trying to put new conditions on the mail-in system that we depend on to vote.
Cletus, deliver the mail. You got one job. Deliver the mail. Hey, it doesn't matter what side of the political coin that you're on. Once the person that delivers the mail gets to decide which mail gets delivered, that's a problem, period. And then the audacity. I read this. The Postmaster General sat right there in front of the Senate, and he said himself, he said this. Look, he had the nerve and says to everybody, I'm not political. Huh? I'm not political, but I'm going to make it to where the folks that deliver the mail, we get a choice on which mail gets delivered. Make it make sense. Cletus, just deliver the mail. You got one damn job. That's it. Shout out to the AG Brown. By the way, Nick Brown, you ever had that kid in the neighborhood that keeps getting beat up, but in this case in court? Man, Donald Trump always get beat up in court. Oh, wait, I forgot. We don't talk about that. I didn't mean to bring up his name. My bad.
Well, I mean, you have to bring up his name because it is his administration that's trying to do this. And I'm just going to say thank goodness for this ruling. And once again, it's the courts that thankfully are doing something to be the pushback.
Yeah.
But we can't stop paying attention because, again, this whole thing is being sold as election security. But we've said it before, and I'll say it again, the whole fraud argument falls apart. According to the Secretary of State, there have been 15 cases total of non-citizen voting in Washington between the years of 1982 and 2025. I got to count the zeros, but that is 0.00006% of ballots cast.
Facts don't matter.
And yes, we want that to be zero.
I have a theme for today. By the way, I'm back, y'all. And I just want y'all to know, today's theme's going to be facts don't matter.
Well, and I'm
Except here.
And I'm going to keep pushing back on this idea because it should matter. Because we're not dealing with some kind of massive crisis that needs to be fixed. This is, once again, a solution, a bad solution in search of a non-existent problem. And the court has stopped this for now, but the fact that it got this far should worry anybody who lives in a state where you vote by mail. Okay, some Washington drivers, could soon get a break on tolls. Olympia is looking at a proposal that would cut tolls in half on SR 509 and 167 for low-income drivers. So to qualify for this, a family of 4 would have to make about $66,000 a year or less. But there is a catch. Deputy State Treasurer Jason Richter is warning that if toll revenue ends up falling short, the state could be forced to raise tolls for everybody else.
With the low-income tolling program, there is an elevated risk that if tolls don't come in as projected, there might be a requirement, somewhat more of a risk of a requirement for the commission to make a rate-setting action to increase toll revenues.
Yo, listen, y'all. There used to be a point in my life when I would go to pay bills. And I don't know if you guys have heard this saying before, but this is how I used to pay my bills.
Rob Peter to pay Paul?
Boom.
Why did I know?
Hey, look here. That's how I used to pay my bills. I used to rob Peter to pay Paul.
I know that one too.
That's how you do things. Now I know some of you guys heard this, and you guys heard, oh, wow. Those making under $66,000 a year will get relief on tolls. And so you guys would think, wow, I know G. G's about that. G is, yes, he is for that. Yeah, I am. Until, did you hear what my man said? The fine print says, if the discount mean the money doesn't come in like projected, we might raise the tolls to cover it.
Yeah.
Let me tell y'all something. Full disclosure.
Yeah.
They already know the money ain't going to come in. So therefore, they already plan to go ahead and lift it. So what's going to happen is Peter broke, Paul broke, everybody broke, and they gonna end up, this ain't nothing but a switcheroo. Y'all ain't fooling G with this. This does not smell good. You go to drink your coffee and ain't nothing but vinegar. That's what this is.
You're exactly right. You nailed it. Because you can't create a discount and then act surprised when somehow the map's not working. So let's just make sure that everybody else has to pay more and then call it something else. The solution needs to be honest from the start. If you think low-income drivers need relief, which I think they do, then put that relief in directly into the budget and cap the cost and then review it and tell us and make the state show every time how many people are using it, how much revenue is being reduced.
Can I just tell you why this really upset me?
Why?
Because they had your dog. Now, there's a lot of people.
Because you initially,
Listen,
exactly.
There's a lot of people. Now, I don't know if you're people, but are you guilty of just reading the headline? Have you ever seen a story out there where you only read the headline and you go and you tell Lois and all of them, oh, this is what happened, but you didn't read the article.
Yeah.
You shared the article.
Yeah.
This is one of those. If I would have got caught reading the headline, I'd have been like, yes, this is great.
Yes.
But then you get into the details,
Yes.
you say, oh, hell no.
Yes.
We can't be doing this.
Well, what's happening is they're building programs where the compassion part is public, and then the bill that comes later is hidden. And you're just putting out the bill right now.
Come on now.
Yeah, exactly.
Peter broke, Paul broke, everybody broke in the story.
Okay, we've been talking about the World Cup bringing huge crowds to Seattle and this region, but the economic boost is not reaching a lot of the businesses in the Chinatown International District. We touched on it yesterday, Gee, and I wanted to bring it up again today. But businesses closest to the stadium are seeing strong sales. I saw that for myself yesterday. But shops just a few blocks away are seeing much slower foot traffic.
I think the World Cup games in Seattle caused my business to have the worst sales day that it's ever had.
Now, that is Vince Vu, who we're going to hear more from here in a second. But the CID Business Improvement Area says some regular customers are avoiding the neighborhood because of stadium traffic and large crowds. And Vince, who owns a bakery, says you've got to also consider the ongoing safety concerns and the theft and the open-air drug use. And always 12th and Jackson comes up.
Today, my business had the worst sales day of my entire life, including when I was a pop-up. Now, I don't know anything, but it feels like the wild, aggressive energy of sports tourism repels locals. The people who live here, who work here, who play here, like the people I thought we cared about. And sure, downtown looks nice now that we've relocated all the unhoused to Little Saigon, a place that the tourists are never going to see. Now that the streets are nice and clean, now that there's public bathrooms sprouting out everywhere easily like mushrooms, even though that's everything that all urbanists have asked for decades. Downtown becomes a thing that locals, real people who live here, want to stay as far away from as possible.
Okay, Vince is going to be joining us at 11 o'clock to share some of his thoughts. And you and I are going to talk about some of our thoughts. But I wanted to get you to weigh in on this.
Well, I'm glad we're going to be talking to Vince. First, let me just say this to Vince. Vince ain't wrong. Vince ain't wrong. Just like most of the time, people don't really care to solve the homelessness crisis. They just don't want to see it. We talk about this all the time. You see what I'm saying? Like, you cannot, you guys, when you had company when you was younger, your mama and daddy and them said, oh, you need to clean up, and you threw everything in the closet. That is what Seattle and society has been doing for years. They've been putting things in the closet. Nobody wants to clean the right way. And then when company leaves, all the stuff comes right out. But let me just say this real simple, Ursula. Fans and people are like a pool. They migrate like a pool. What I mean by that is they go to the busiest part. If you think about a pool of water, right? Wherever, there's not that much water here, but over here there's a lot. That's where people go. And by nature, you stay safe that way. So this isn't an indictment on different types of neighborhoods. It isn't an indictment. I mean, look, the CID, different neighborhoods. What has happened is this, Ursula, people don't want to, and by the way, I've been out here all 3 days. All 3 matches, I've been out here. I've seen it. Mm-hmm. But this is life. When you guys go on vacation as tourists, are you going to stay and hang around the big crowds? Or are you going to be like, you know what? I see the big crowd over here. Let me go down this street and just wander. Right? Or hey, Ursula, me and Long Live Mark and Ursula, I know everybody's over there.
Yeah.
Let's go stray away down here, but you're not going to do that by nature. I don't care how politically conscious you are, how you want to do the right thing and you want to think about everybody. The first thing you're doing is you ain't thinking about other business. You're thinking about yourself. So that's what's happening right now, Ursula. People want to stay with the crowds. And unfortunately, the crowds is over by Pioneer Square, Pier 62, Waterfront, all that.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. I also had put out the call yesterday and saying, and asking not just in one particular intersection, but are there reasons why people are not going to the CID as much as they used to? And is it because? And so I wanted to find out why. And then I heard from yet another listener who was saying, "How do you ask why when a few segments before you were talking about the intersection of 12th and Jackson and some of the issues, et cetera?" That's the reason why. And I'm curious, is it all about crime, or are there other reasons why you don't go to the International District anymore like you might have, years ago? So that was what I was trying to get into.
Yeah. Ursula, you guys remember us talking about this once, and I'm going to answer exactly what you're saying. The people that are scared of crime have the loudest voice. But the people impacted by crime, we don't hear from them.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like right now, there's a talking point.
Yes.
The same people that told you all that Seattle was going to be terrible during the World Cup, you want to know what their battle cry is now? By the way, they get together. They have an envelope. They stay on the same page. Now their cry is, well, why can't we keep it safe like this and keep it like this all the time?
Mm-hmm.
See,
I would love it if we could keep it like this all the time.
Okay. Y'all want to do that? Okay. Well,
but
how about
it takes a real investment.
Yeah.
A
Real investment.
Exactly.
But
not just the superficial, let's clean up and throw everything in the closet. No, absolutely.
Ursula,
absolutely.
You know what? I've been gone, but for some reason, I can hear. I can hear you. I can hear you. You got it
Reality
today.
check.
You got it today. Okay.
Reality check.
Impressed.
Okay, I got to squeeze in one more.
Yeah.
Because did you hear about this? There was a driver. State Patrol cited a driver after a trooper found her asleep behind the wheel of a Tesla on I-5. So according to the State Patrol, the Tesla passed a trooper near South 272nd Street going close to 80 miles an hour. And as it went by, the trooper noticed, wait a minute, that driver is sleeping. So the trooper was able to pull the car over. No one got hurt. And the driver was cited for second-degree negligent driving, which comes with a ticket of about $300. But we were talking about, well, how does this happen? Isn't, Tesla supposed to be the smart car? But driver assistance technology does not replace the driver. You're still responsible for the car. So even if you're asleep, you're going to get a ticket. And thankfully, no one was seriously hurt. But your thoughts as someone who's very familiar with Teslas.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you all what I told Chef and Ursula this morning. I don't know. Every single time this comes up, these situations happens with Tesla.
Yeah.
All I can tell you all is what happens and what used to happen in my car and what happens in my wife's car.
Yeah.
I don't understand, Ursula.
Like,
how
is someone
these
overriding some systems?
It must be. Like,
Yeah.
Ursula, there were times that I would not paying attention.
Yeah.
Look down at my phone, and that camera would be like, do that again, and we'll cut you off. And now it's the update. If you get cut off a certain amount of times, they will take away. So I don't understand.
That's smart.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know. Look. By the way, I know radio is not. It's not good for me to get on here and say I don't know, but I ain't gonna pretend because I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't trust the tech then. I don't know.
But I'm glad she didn't try the whole, let's blame my Tesla. The car was supposed to know that I was speeding and sleeping.
Yeah.
That would be yet another one of my fears, though, because I have been guilty of driving while tired, I will admit. And if the car is doing everything for me, and that would just be even worse.
Can I just say this, though, Ursula?
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to take up for Tesla. I'm not doing that. But is there any other car model out here that gets demonized when accidents happen like Tesla? I mean, because there's malfunctions that happens on other vehicles too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No, I was like, Jeep Wrangler.
No.
There goes that Jeep Wrangler
there's
again.
something about Tesla.
Yeah. But I think it's the unknown.
Well, exactly. It's the whole idea of can you actually go driverless safely?
Okay, coming up at 9:47, it will be time for Would You Rather. But up next, Seattle's waterfront has drawn over 400,000 people since the World Cup. Ursula was down there in the mix. She's going to tell you what it was like to be a tourist. I'm looking forward to hearing all this.
Well, now you're going to tell us what it was like to be an MC.
Yeah, it's been nice. It's been fun. Yeah. All right, we'll do that next. Gee Ursula.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Progressive provides protection for your boat and other outdoor vehicles so you can explore new things.
Oh, I can finally try pesto.
We meant like water skiing.
I've just never had pesto.
Or maybe take the boat somewhere new.
I mean, is pesto spicy or sweet? Oh, guess we'll find out, right?
Right. Bundle home or auto insurance with your boat, RV, or motorcycle and stay protected with Progressive while you explore.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not ready for pesto.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And right now, new mattresses start at $1,500 during our 4th of July sale. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
$83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise. There's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Sully here, and you know I've talked to a lot of businesses over the years, but the folks at Buc-ee's, they're the real deal. For over 50 years, they've treated neighbors like family with honest pricing, expert service, and repairs done right. Guaranteed. They've also earned a Carfax Preferred designation. That means you get detailed updates, service reminders, and your full repair history right at your fingertips. 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing. Visit Buc-ee's.com today and drive with confidence.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Are you thinking about getting a new TV this week at prime prices? Maybe a Samsung, LG, or a Sony? Before you click, you should check out Video Only, because they've got below prime deals. That's right. Top-rated TVs at better than online prices. Curbside pickup or home delivery are available. Don't click before you call Video Only, because if you do, you'll be sorry.
Hartley Wilcox here. Do you know where your food comes from? If it's perishable, you should read the package. Wilcox Farms eggs are locally fresh from Washington. For the freshest choice, choose Wilcox Family Farms.
Life doesn't have to slow you down just because costs are up. At Subaru of Puyallup, fuel-efficient models help you go farther with the confidence of all-wheel drive. And you have to experience the newly redesigned Subaru Outback with bold styling, advanced safety, an upgraded touchscreen, and even more capability. For stress-free pricing, a huge selection, and current offers, stop by Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership. Part of the Harnish Auto family. Visit SubaruofPuyallup.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. A federal judge has blocked President Donald Trump's executive order aimed at creating a federal voter list and restricting mail ballots. The judge ruled today in favor of nearly 24 states, including Washington, saying the order unconstitutionally violates separation of powers. The ruling halts the policy for the upcoming midterm election cycle. The order would have required a national voter database and limited USPS mail ballot delivery to voters on that list. A full transcript of Bill Gates' testimony before the House Oversight Committee regarding Jeffrey Epstein has now been released. It shows Gates that told the committee that Epstein was trying to blackmail him about his extramarital affairs. More from ABC's Aaron Katursky.
Gates said he knew Epstein was a sex offender, but hoped he would introduce him to wealthy people who could help the Gates Foundation. Gates said he met Tom Pritzker, Mort Zuckerman, and Leon Black. None donated, and Gates told the committee the Epstein brokered meetings were a dead end.
Gates also told the committee he resisted a social relationship with Epstein. After being fired amid allegations of a recruiting violation, Brandon Roy is back as head coach for his alma mater, Garfield High School. Roy is also one of the NBA's biggest names.
Roy's got a hurry, drive, up there! Oh!
He was a first-round draft pick out of UW by the Trailblazers, was the NBA's Rookie of the Year, and a 3-time All-Star. He was fired because he was allegedly part of a recruiting push involving an NBA agent that offered a student an apartment, a car, and money if he transferred to Garfield. Roy denied the allegation and said he's not fired, pointing out he was re-invited to reapply for his job. King County prosecutors have charged a 15-year-old boy in connection with the deadly shooting of a 16-year-old girl. KIRO 7 TV's Monique Minglaven reports.
This happened back on June 3rd outside the Aliso Apartments in Kent. We are not naming the suspect because they're a minor. Prosecutors say those shots were fired after a meeting between two groups of teens described as members of rival gangs. The victim was in a group of teens hanging out nearby. Investigators were able to track the suspect down using video and cell phone records.
The boy will be back in court today. Seattle police are calling a shooting that left a 15-year-old boy in serious condition accidental. It happened just before 11 Tuesday night near North 93rd and Aurora, an area long plagued with gun violence and human trafficking. Detectives say the teen driver was shot inside a car when a backseat passenger mishandled a handgun. Eric Williams lives nearby.
Reading about that 15-year-old, it scared me. I have a daughter that's about to turn 15. What's going on, man? What's the point of it all?
The victim drove a short distance, flagged down Seattle fire crews for help. So far, the gunman has not been found. Now to your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. This traffic report is brought to you by Global Credit Union. Roadwork on I-5 northbound from milepost 101 near Tumwater Boulevard to milepost 102 is beginning right now. And just an update on southbound I-5. We still have that crash in the Lake Terrace Edmonds area. It's blocking the HOV and left lane, so be prepared for delays right there. And the Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. For your forecast, it's going to be cooler today. Temperatures approaching the 80s. Right now, it's about 59 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. Gee and Ursula are here today. Gee, you've been having quite the time as MC of the World Cup matches. I haven't had a chance to talk to you about Friday, which from all accounts was truly electric in the stadium.
Yep. I've done 3 matches so far. The first match was Team Egypt versus Team Belgium. That was pretty cool. And, of course, then there was Friday, USA against Australia. And then there was yesterday, we had Bosnia and Herzegovina versus Team Qatar. All 3 were great, and all 3 were different in its own right.
Mm-hmm.
First, let me just say this. The passion and the pride that happens is amazing. Don't ask me which one is better between football and soccer because it's just different. It's just different.
Okay, can you give me how is it different?
Okay. All right. I'm glad you asked that. So let's take yesterday, Bosnia and Herzegovina. Matter of fact, your one friend that you went to the Super Bowl party, she has you up to her Super Bowl party?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, she was there. Yeah, she was there yesterday. Okay, so let's take Bosnia and Herzegovina.
She actually sent me a picture of you, by the way.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So let's take, here's a country where 30 years ago, the Civil War, they were fighting to just stay here, right? They had so much going on. And here we are 30 years later, right, getting to play soccer in the World Cup in front of the world. All of the people there, the pride, the passion, the energy, and to see them win and move on, this is the furthest that they've ever been. So when you have that type of pride where a lot of these people, that backdrop, and I'm having conversations with people that are talking about just that, right? Think about it. Like, they were just on the brink of extinction 30 years ago, and here they are right now. And so after, when they won, they were still in their seats, waving their flags, singing their songs.
Okay, that would make me cry.
It was, I'm telling you, it was beautiful. You know what I mean? And even though Qatar and their fans, they lost in football when I'm at games, half the crowd's mad. A lot of the crowd's drunk. So when you have mad and drunk,
not good.
It gets problems, right? Well, at the end of a soccer match, there's still love.
Yeah.
And it's a bunch of cultures. Now, I know what I'm going to say. I know some people don't like being around different cultures, but some people do. And if you do like being around different cultures, being around soccer is a beautiful thing.
And I want to say the vast majority of people love to be around different cultures, and that's the love that you see. And that's what I saw yesterday. So this was my first time since the matches began to actually hang out. I mean, I'll be honest. I'm not that interested in the soccer part, the actual game part. I'm more interested in the backstories, like what you just shared, or the pride, or people coming to this region and this country and seeing things for themselves. And a lot of these things that they're seeing for themselves are going against the narrative that they have always heard about this country or this area, and then seeing people. So yesterday I started off at Westlake, and there is a watch party there, and they have ping pong tables set up, and I'll be honest, it wasn't that well attended. I mean, there were a lot of empty seats, but it was a beautiful day and a really great relaxed vibe, and that was lovely. And then we actually jumped on a Metro bus. We took a bus down to Pioneer Square. And again, because the game was already going on, people were in the stadium, but still, the energy was really cool. And then we were there until the end of the game, and when people started pouring out of the Seattle Stadium, Lumen Field, again, just how you said, the amount of pride that people were expressing. And I mean, I was stopping and I was talking to there's so many volunteers out there. Like every corner has a volunteer helping you get around, first of all. The downtown ambassadors, I was trying to thank them. And I ran into someone who also works for DSC. I was thanking them. Do you know that police officers from departments all around the state have come in to Seattle to help support SPD? And so,
because it's a mandatory rule from FIFA, but that's another story.
Okay, whether it's mandatory or whether it's not, I loved seeing all these different officers working together, which was a really cool thing. And I did not, and I'll admit, so I did not get to the waterfront, which is what I wanted to do, because I know that I've been told that is just phenomenal. Right. But everything that I saw was, yes, the streets were very much cleaned up. Yeah. And every business owner I talked to said, was begging. It's like, it's been so great these last couple of weeks. You know, can we keep up this momentum? And if there are, I will say that getting on the bus, I felt completely safe on the bus. It wasn't very crowded, but again, it was during the game. And I would suggest, I think to some degree, those of us who live here full time and people who work downtown full time have been scared to come down. And they've been told that the crowds are going to be out of control, et cetera, and you're not going to get around. I got around just fine yesterday.
Ursula, I'm trying to keep calm because I'm loving everything that you're saying. Yeah. But let's call a spade a spade. It's literally the same people in this city that tell you to be scared of Seattle. These people live and work in this city.
Yeah, I know.
And they still want to drive this narrative.
Yeah, and even when you see it at its best.
It's a very lucrative way of doing things.
Yes, even when you see it at its best, they will find a way to say, well, it's just the energy that other people are bringing here. You know, we still suck. And I'm just going to tell you, go down for yourself. Go down for yourself and see it for yourself. And were there pockets where I was like, oh, you know, this is tough. But this is a big city.
You know, a lot of folks lately, I've noticed on Twitter, a lot of folks have been really coming to my post a lot. A lot. And I ignore them. I don't even but here's a post that they didn't touch.
Oh.
I noticed they didn't touch my post because I got the numbers right from SPD.
That's right.
On crime. You know, crime, you guys say Seattle's so crime infested? Crime numbers from June 12th until June 21st. From that time, speaking downtown in that corridor, there have been 25 instances of crime. The majority of those have been disturbances, right? And there was assault near Pike Place. Near Pike Place, and in the Pier 62, zero.
Yeah,
zero. There have been 261 calls, but 25 have been crime instituted in crime.
Yeah.
The reason why I bring this up is why won't they talk about that? Why won't they talk about that point? Yeah. Now, is it because
it's not lucrative? But I just want I encourage you, check it out yourselves. And do what I did. And I actually went to SPD officers and I introduced myself and thanked them for the job that they're doing. I mean, I know it's a lot of work right now, a lot of work for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But you should be really proud.
Yeah. Back in the day, Ursula, when there was kids that didn't get invited to the party and they weren't at the party, those are the ones that complain and talk stuff about the party. And you're like, hey, Lisa, you weren't even there. What are you talking about? But you want to talk bad about the party?
So check out the party for yourself. Have some fun.
Would you rather next?
You pay what we pay. Ford employee pricing is on now at Kendall Ford of Marysville. From Ford trucks and SUVs to Broncos, Mustangs, and more. Get in on incredible savings on select 2025 and 2026 Fords and get real American value. Bring on those warmer weather adventures in a new Ford and save thousands. Take those adventures off-road in a new 2025 Ford Bronco Badlands 4x4 and save over $7,100 off MSRP. Feel the all-electric exhilaration of a new all-wheel drive 2025 Ford Mustang Mach-E GT. Now over $11,500 off MSRP. With Ford employee pricing, you can buy like an employee and save like an employee. Get in on the savings and stop by Kendall Ford of Marysville today. Kendall. Let's start something great.
VIN number 1F SLB 83112 and 3F SMA 54938. All factory rebates subject to change. Prices not include taxes, title, or license. Subject to prior sales. See dealer for details. Offer expires 6/30/26.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
If there's one thing you can count on, it's 24/7 protection when you bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive. And if there's two things you can count on, it's your smoke detector battery dying at 3 a.m. Not 3 p.m. on a Saturday when you have nothing going on, but in the middle of the night when you're fast asleep.
Oh, come on!
Get 24/7 protection when you bundle home and auto with Progressive. Just one more thing you can count on. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY, and I want to wish you a happy Independence Day. The 4th of July is my favorite. It's about family, gratitude, patriotism, and amazing exploding lights in the sky. Perhaps I love it most because it's called Independence Day. I love to fight for my clients' independence. Your right to drive, to provide for your family, your right to do stuff. You feel liberty most when you lose it. Remember buying a box of bottle rockets and salute shells with nothing more than a "have fun, kids"? Well, things have changed since then, including the consequences of a DUI. We're your safe and sane solution to keep freedom ringing. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com. Red, white, and blue are the colors of freedom, unless they're flashing behind you. 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Hey, John, why don't you tell everybody why you started going to Longevity
No, I
Medical
don't want to
Clinic?
do that. I can tell you, I started going to Longevity Medical Clinic before I started doing these commercials, but that why I went is not important.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Okay. I'll tell you. I was a Sammamish City Council member, and whenever they had asked me to do the Pledge of Allegiance, I couldn't make it through the whole thing without crying. I know, it's so dumb. I mean, I know I'm patriotic, but what the heck? So I go into Longevity Medical Clinic, and I explained this to them, that there's something wrong with my hormones or something, and they see the testosterone and the estrogen are all out of balance. We balance all that stuff, and I can do the Pledge of Allegiance without crying. But I've also noticed that I deal with stress a lot better, don't I?
Yes, you're a lot easier to live with because you're getting more sleep, you have more energy, you're better organized, and I'm not helping you look for your car keys every morning.
Right, because now I've taken the steps to take care of my mind and body. I strongly recommend anybody get the free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Hi, how can I help? Well, my husband and I feel like we've outgrown our current money manager. I see. Our lives have changed, and we need something more than just mutual funds to help us in retirement.
She's right.
I hear that often. At Fisher Investments, we'd start by getting to know you, your finances, family, health, lifestyle. We tailor a portfolio around your goals and needs.
Sounds good.
Can you help with estate planning? Yes. We have a team of specialists who can help you with estate planning, Social Security, investment income, and more. We'll get to know your whole financial picture and help keep you on the path to a comfortable retirement.
And your fees?
We have a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better. I feel better already. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Lake Washington Windows and Doors is giving the first 40 June projects to sign up for 5 or more windows a free patio door plus 12-month free financing. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Hey, millions of immigrants in the U.S. under temporary protected status can be deported, according to a new Supreme Court ruling. Our favorite Gee and Ursula Show legal analyst will join us next to explain why the end of birthright citizenship could be next. That's going to happen at 10 o'clock. But right now, world famous, would you rather?
Let me make something crystal clear. This one truly scares me.
It's time to make Ursula uncomfortable.
All right. Ursula, would you rather have front row seats to every match here at Seattle Stadium, but watch alone, or nosebleed seats with your whole family?
I'll always take the family experience. Give me nosebleed seats with my family, because I just don't get enough family time.
Here's the thing. It's a no-brainer. It's nosebleed seats.
Yes.
And by the way, just so we're clear, nosebleed seats aren't what they used to be anymore. I would say at Seattle Stadium for now, right?
Yeah.
Just being in the building, there's not a bad seat.
Well, and I heard, so Angela Hill Russell went yesterday. I heard that you could get, yesterday was a game where you could get some very affordable tickets. Yeah, so what happened is the day before Ursula, they was holding by 1,100. Yeah. Then the morning hit. We know this because in our morning call at 5 a.m., they were talking about how many tickets has actually been sold. Yeah. And then just a few hours before kick, boom, drop down 300. I saw under $500. And so what it was doing is try to fill that last 5,000 to come on in here. That kind of did that. Chef, you got an answer on that one?
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, you're gonna meet cool people, right? There by the front of the seats, but I don't know if I'd have anything in common with those folks.
All right. One of the things that I have been saying, Ursula, that this has to be, it's been cool, but I want to know what you'd rather do. Would you rather sing every chant that they're doing in the crowd perfectly, all match, or paint your body with the flag's colors? Because I've been seeing that too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
No one's going to be painting this body. I'm singing.
and just so we're clear, for some reason, if you want to be on camera, and you're like, I would like for over 200 million people to see me, here's what you do. You go to the stadium, paint your body, then when you get in there, take it off, and then you have, make sure all your privates is covered. Take it all off, and you're painted. I promise you, that camera gonna find you. Okay. Exactly. That camera gonna find you. Exactly. And I'll tell you what. Yeah. There's no do-overs. So yesterday, as I'm having Mark take pictures. I'm like, document where we're going, blah blah blah. Yeah. And then I'd like to keep it a buck. Yeah. There were a couple times I'm like, no, Mark, let's try again. No. I'm going to hide partially behind this bush. If you're painting your body and you're going to be featured everywhere, there's no do-over. Right. No thanks. No thanks? Okay. Wait, what about you? You're chanting. I'm chanting. No, you've been working out every day. I'm chanting. By the way, I just want to say this. It is so cool hearing the chants. Yes. And I'd be trying to, full disclosure, what I do is I want to tell you guys how I cheat. This is how I cheat. YouTube is just a beautiful thing. And so what I do is when the country that I know is coming to town, I just get on YouTube and I listen to all their chants right there beforehand. So then you're smart. So then I come in and they be like, oh, that G, he rock with us.
That's awesome, dude.
He rocks with us.
He's one of us.
One of us.
Heck yeah.
You've done your homework.
Okay, here we go. There's another one. Would you rather watch the World Cup from the locker room tunnel area? I mean, I'm talking about prime seats, or from the luxury box upstairs with food and beverages? Oh, that's easy. I'm going for luxury box. Are you kidding? The very few times I've had an opportunity to do that, I'm like, so this is how they live. Chef, what you got, bro?
I mean, I'm going to go with the tunnel. Free drinks used to mean a lot more to me. True. So food, free drinks. I'm like, whatever, food, I don't care.
So people
I'll go for experience.
People are asking me the difference between football and soccer. So for me, Ursula, I'm going to regular football. I want to be out in the fans in the regular seats. Yeah. Regular football. Yeah. I feel like I can take it in more. Soccer? Oh, yeah, let me go to the luxury spot. Let me go be up there. Let me go out there.
Why?
Hey, man, they got the food. I don't know. It's just because the reason why is because the match yesterday was 3-1. Or the first match with Egypt and Belgium, that thing was 1-1 ending in a tie. Yeah. Now, I left that thing. Look here. I'm going to tell y'all the truth. I left that thing like, hey, man, I worked way too long for this to be a tie. I ain't got no winner. It's not quite satisfying. No, it wasn't satisfying. All right. Coming up next, so millions of immigrants in the U.S. under temporary protected status can be deported, according to a new Supreme Court ruling. This just came out this morning. So coming up next, we will have our favorite Gee Ursula Show legal analyst, who, full transparency, happens to be my daughter, but she's going to come on and then she'll help us better understand what's going on. We'll do that next. Gee Ursula.
Nick, you know what my dad always used to say?
Oh, which thing? Let me guess. If you put anything on a hot dog besides mustard, it's un-American?
Okay, that's true. Okay, but no, about the word worry. Remember he used to say about the word worry?
Yes, that it's not a verb, but it actually is.
I know it's a verb, but Nick, his point was nothing comes from worrying. You can sit here and worry about all the news and all about the chaos in the world. You worry about your health, but nothing comes of it. You have to take action.
Right.
Like, for instance, you and I, we go into Longevity Medical Clinic. That's an action. It's about taking that action. Like, people can go to Longevity Medical Clinic, take the free health analysis, and then they can find out how they're aging and the things they can do in order to slow down the process to have a big, full, rich life so you can enjoy a hot dog with whatever you want on it.
And now worry is a verb.
See, there you go. So it all starts with you taking action. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. No guessing, just answers. Over 100,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Take control and protect your long-term health by knowing your numbers. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Feel better. Live stronger. Start now.
They call this one Bill.
Whoa, aliens? Am I in a spaceship?
Affirmative, Bill.
What's with the laser saw?
Relax. We are cutting our bill in half.
What?
An Xfinity mobile transmission says you can cut your bill in half.
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill.
Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free for a year. Free.
Yes, with no commitment. Can we put the saw away?
I am reluctant. But we will find another being to bisect.
That's not sci-fi. It's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo.
Your best source for local news.
Newly released police video shows the arrest of a 17-year-old.
KIRO Newsradio.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day same-day service and available financing. Visit Buc-ee's.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Severson. The Supreme Court rules that the Trump administration can turn away asylum seekers at the U.S.-Mexico border, can stop them from even stepping foot on U.S. soil. The High Court also cleared the way for the Trump administration to cancel temporary protective status for Syrians and Haitians. Advocates for Haitians urge Congress to extend TPS or many will die. U.S. help on the way to Venezuela after deadly earthquakes overnight. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says search and rescue teams are headed there from Los Angeles and Virginia.
The airport there is badly damaged, so we'll have to rely on the Department of War to deploy assets there.
At least 164 people are confirmed dead and nearly 1,000 injured. The Federal Reserve's primary metric for gauging inflation is out. Last month, inflation accelerated 4.1% over May of last year. Tennis great Chris Evert says tests show her ovarian cancer has returned. She says she's had surgery as a first step. This is ABC News. Terrifying moments as the pilot of an Air Canada flight from New Jersey suffered a medical episode in midair Wednesday. ABC's Hannah Battelle has that.
Pilot is incapacitated. Aircraft is being flown by the co-pilot.
It all started when the plane suddenly swerved. The pilot experiencing what witnesses describe as a seizure that lasted 40 minutes, though a diagnosis has not been confirmed. Passengers jumping in to help after they say a flight attendant dragged the pilot out of the cockpit into the aisle, trying to restrain him. The co-pilot taking over. The flight headed to Nova Scotia, forced to land in Boston.
No word yet on the condition of that pilot after receiving treatment. An ongoing search in Hawaii for a father and son who may have been swept out to sea during a hike along Hanauma Bay on Tuesday. The home of the New York Knicks, but there are possible signs that Madison Square Garden could be the venue for Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's wedding. Chuck Severson, ABC News.
We're learning more details about a house that exploded on Whidbey Island, but first, KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. This traffic report is brought to you by KIRO News Radio. There's a stalled vehicle on I-5 northbound near milepost 3 near 63rd Street. The right lane there is blocked. Federal Way to Seattle will take you about 40 minutes northbound. Linwood into Seattle, about 32 minutes. On the east side, Bellevue to Federal Way is approaching about 40 minutes in the HOV lanes, while Bellevue to Renton is around 18 minutes. Across Lake Washington, SR 520 and I-90 are moving pretty well, with Seattle to Bellevue trips averaging about 10 to 15 minutes. This traffic report is brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. A neighbor thinks fireworks caused a home to explode on Whidbey Island that sent 3 firefighters to the hospital. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports there's still an unexploded ordnance inside that home.
Tanya tells me the moment she saw her house on fire driving home, she immediately thought about her neighbor.
Oh, I'm sure it's the fireworks. He bought a truckload last year, brought it in over to Southern Pass in a semi-truck.
2 fire chiefs and a firefighter were rushed to a hospital with blast injuries. ATF agents will pick up the investigation Thursday, including an official cause, whether or not fireworks were involved. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Tanya's 5 dogs had to be rescued from her home. The injured firefighters were listed last in stable condition. Police are searching for multiple suspects after a shooting in West Seattle injured a teenager. Seattle police say the gunfire erupted just after midnight near Sylvan Way Southwest and Southwest Morgan Street. Officers arrived to find a 17-year-old boy shot in the hip area. He was taken to Harborview and is reported in serious but stable condition. Investigators say the suspects ran away after crashing a vehicle nearby. The Gun Violence Reduction Unit is leading the investigation. A 19-year-old man was shot by Federal Way police after calling 911 during a mental health crisis. Investigators say the man told dispatchers he had a gun Wednesday afternoon. Officers arrived and tried less lethal options before the confrontation escalated to gunfire. The 19-year-old was taken to the hospital and remains in critical condition. The Valley Independent Investigative Team is now leading the investigation. New safety concerns are being raised at the Nippon Dynawave plant in Longview, the site of the implosion that killed 11 people in May. KIRO 7 TV's Brandon Thompson requested records from the Washington Department of Labor and Industries.
Just 3 months before the implosion, a man had fallen into a sinkhole filled with hot pulping stock. Supervisors called it a near miss. Another witness saying, quote, operations were moving quickly to restart production and there was pressure to get the system back online, end quote. UW professor Marty Cohen says the Federal Chemical Safety Board will likely take note of that.
CSB can certainly bring that up, that, production pressures were an issue.
We also found the Department of Ecology reported several leaks across the plant, including with the tank that imploded called the G tank.
As America looks ahead to its 250th anniversary, a pair of bald eagle chicks rescued here in Washington are getting a second chance in the wild. The eaglets were removed from a nest near live power lines and treated at the Washington State University. Veterinarian Marcy Logsdon has to help one of them get out of its egg.
Emotions were definitely very high while I was trying to get that stuck chick out of the egg, and it's definitely unlike anything that I've done in my career to date.
After weeks of care, they've now been placed in a new foster nest near Wenatchee, where adult eagles are raising them alongside another chick. Now to your KIRO News Radio weather. It's cooler today. Temperatures more comfortable in the low 80s. Right now, it's about 59 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Yes, it's me. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. I don't know where you guys have been. I don't know where you've been.
Yeah, they want to know where we've been.
Good morning to you, Ursula.
Good morning. Another very packed hour for you. We do have a guest on hold right now because an important ruling. The Supreme Court has been issuing some rulings, and so there's some important ones. We talked about one in the 9 o'clock hour. Well, we got another one that we're going to talk about here shortly. And as always, we invite you to join us on the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO.
What's new at 10?
And I just mentioned that the Supreme Court has handed another ruling, and this one is a major immigration win for the Trump administration. In a 6-3 ruling today, the court said the government can turn away asylum seekers before they physically step into the United States. So this legal fight came down to whether someone has, quote unquote, arrived in the U.S. if they are at a legal port of entry, but not yet across the border. The majority on the court said those asylum protections do not kick in until someone is physically in the country. And the dissent said that interpretation could block people from even getting the chance to apply. It's an important ruling. And joining us now on the Gee and Ursula Show is legal analyst Ashlyn Mejia. Good morning, Ashlyn.
Hi, good morning.
Well, thank you for coming on to the show because, as always, when we have some of these legal things, we need help breaking it down. So, in plain English, what did the Supreme Court decide today?
Well, Ursula, I think you broke it down pretty well yourself. So under asylum law, you have to be in the United States in order to apply for asylum. That's not something that you can do in advance, like, oh, I plan on coming to the United States and asking for asylum. So you can't plan for it back in your home country. You actually have to be here. Prior to this ruling, people could present themselves at a port of entry along the southern border, or any border really, and ask for asylum. Under this new ruling, though, you cannot ask for asylum until you have physically crossed the border.
Okay, so one of the things that you said to me earlier, you told me you weren't nervous about the birthright citizenship decision, but this makes you nervous. Can you help us better understand why?
So it's not that this ruling has anything to do with the birthright citizenship, ruling. They're going to be totally separate rulings. But the fact that they struck this down does lead me to question whether or not they're also going to strike down the birthright citizenship decision that should be coming out within the next couple of weeks.
Okay, so going back to this particular decision, why do the words "arrives in the United States" matter so much? I mean, what changes now, or what would be the practical outcome of this decision?
So, from a legal standpoint, you would think that it would make more sense for people to actually come to the border and present themselves in order for immigration officials to determine whether or not they have a valid claim for asylum. But practically speaking now, if you can't ask for asylum until you're physically here, I have to wonder, is this going to lead to more people crossing the border illegally if presenting yourself at a port of authority is not enough anymore? So I'll be curious to see what the actual practical implications are in the future.
Would something like this, for us who have been watching and paying attention to what's going on, could this lead to, how can I say this, igniting maybe of more of ICE? Can we see that ramping back up in our communities because of a decision like this?
I don't necessarily think so. I would argue, especially in a lot of the major metropolitan cities, the ICE presence is already pretty strong. I don't necessarily see this leading to more, but I definitely could be wrong. So I will be curious to see what happens, as we continue on.
There's a word in here that I'm sure a lot of people are going to be paying attention to. And by the way, you all are listening to the voice of Ashlyn Mejia. She is the Gee and Ursula Show legal analyst. And we are talking today because of the Supreme Court and their decision based on those here that have seeking asylum. Metering. There's a policy called metering for folks like me who have never heard of that. Can you tell us about that and help us better understand what that is?
So I'm not an immigration attorney, so I will throw that out there. I am not an expert on metering. But from what I understand is metering is something that can be seen going back throughout various presidential administrations, not just the Trump administration, where you send agents, Border Patrol agents out at the border to stop people from actually making it to the border to seek asylum. So that is a process that has happened under just about every presidential administration going back to the Obama administration, from what I can see. And that's the idea behind it was to help there not be such an intense influx of people presenting themselves at the border for asylum. So my understanding is it was kind of initially designed to be like a crowd control measure. But that's certainly something I think we'll be seeing a lot more of now that this decision has been implemented.
So again, this was a 6-3 ruling. What was the main concern from the dissent?
So from what I can see, the main concern from the dissent is that you are taking away a very practical way for people to apply for asylum. Like I said, you have to come to the United States to apply for asylum. A way that has been done for a very, very long time is to present yourself at the border, letting border officials know, hey, I'm here. Here's my asylum claim. Can you verify it for me? Well, you're taking that away from a lot of people. So that is taking away people who may have valid fears of persecution in their home country. So I think that is what the dissent is mostly concerned about.
In your opinion, when you see, this is our last question for you, this ruling of 6-3 on this topic, how do you feel that when it's time to weigh in on the birthright citizenship, how do you think that that's going to go, considering what we're seeing now?
I would not be surprised at all if we saw a very similar split in the birthright citizenship. Now, the only thing that gives me a little bit of pause in saying that is that birthright citizenship is something that is actually codified in our Constitution. Mm-hmm. This is not. So, again, I don't want to conflate and say that because SCOTUS ruled this way, that automatically means that they're going to rule against birthright citizenship. They are very different arguments. Presenting yourself at the border for asylum is not something that is codified in the Constitution in the same way. So I don't want to jump the gun here, but I can't say I would be surprised if we saw a similar split.
By the way, why didn't you choose immigration law? Why did you choose criminal law?
Well, I actually picked a field where I can do a little bit of immigration law. I liked the marriage of, crimigration is what it's called. where there's criminal and immigration overlap, but just doing immigration law and asylum proceedings just wasn't for me.
Well, Ashlyn, we appreciate your time as always. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Have a good rest of your morning.
Hey, Gee, speaking of immigration, I saw this in the Seattle Times. Gene Balk provides us a lot of stuff to talk about. And he says that King County is about to hit a major demographic milestone.
Okay.
And so as of July, of course, he always breaks down the census numbers. And so as of July of 2025, non-Hispanic white residents made up 50.1% of King County's population. So I actually thought, Chef, can you take a look at the story again? I'm hoping that this is because my understanding was that as of right now, there is no majority.
Yeah, right now, it's sitting at 50%, 50.1%. And they're saying by next year that they look that white residents will not be at that number. Right.
Number. Okay. So and in 2020, King County was more than 55% white. And since then, the county has added about 71,000 people overall. But the non-Hispanic white population has dropped by about 85,000.
Right.
So meanwhile, every other major racial and ethnic group has grown.
Right.
Biggest increase being in Asian residents, which they are up more than 100,000 since 2020. But the Hispanic, Black, and multiracial populations have also grown.
Yep. Black population has grown 10,000 over that time. I just want to know, when people see this, shout out to Gene Balk in this article, when they see this or hear this, if you're just hearing it for the first time, what are your thoughts when you hear something like this?
What feeling do you get?
What feeling do you get? So let me just give you a bigger picture on this. Here's a did you know? You guys can look this up if you want to. 87% of the world is non-white. So King County isn't becoming something strange and unusual. It's starting to get closer to looking like the rest of the world. Now, I know that number might shock some people, and I know right now you might on your phone right now checking that number. But that's the world, right? And so what ends up happening is here's the truth. Whether it was basketball or football or baseball or anything else, Ursula, when you're able to go outside of just different communities, diversity ends up making whatever it is better. Imagine a job, and this job could only pull from the talent in the neighborhood. They could not seek any talent outside of that neighborhood. Well, what would happen is that job would be just as good as just a neighborhood. But when you're able to seek outside the world, then what happens is that company gets stronger because you get ideas that are different, that are just inside of that bubble. So I just want to remind everyone what the world looks like and how King County is getting closer to looking like the world.
But I'm glad that you asked, how does that make you feel? If you're going to dig in and be honest, when you read that and when you see, the white people are no longer the majority, does that come across as hey, that's really cool, we're just a more diversified population? Or does it make you feel like, well, now I understand why there are people who are anti-immigration or they're feeling like they're under attack because now they're no longer the majority or now potentially in the minority?
I mean, the Tucker Carlsons of the world and maybe some of your favorites have also got on here and talked about the great white replacement theory. They talked about that.
Not my favorites.
No, not your favorite. But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't something that I'm making up.
Yeah, no, I know.
I'm just right. The truth never expires. There's real receipts on these things.
Yeah.
And so when you have these, the great replacement theory, the white replacement theory was a thing.
No, it is. Yes.
And it's still a thing.
Yes.
What do you guys think Charlottesville was about?
Yes.
2017.
There are some people who truly feel threatened.
Yes.
Yes. Some are much more open about it, but it does show up in other different ways. But one of the things that Gene Balk points out is that some of this is related. It's not just that more and more different and diverse people are moving in, but some of this is age-related because white residents, on average, are older, which means, of course, fewer births and more deaths. But some of it is migration, with more white residents leaving for other counties. And then he also points out that South King County has been very diverse for a long time. Also, some parts of the east side, but when it comes to countywide, this is a turning point. This is actually a milestone.
What strikes me is that that this is not a visible change that anyone would notice, because there has not been some dramatic shift because there's been a change of a 0.5 percentage point here or there, but it has an emotional impact, and it shouldn't. Like, if there's a 0.1% change in a demographic, I shouldn't feel about it a certain way. I'm not going to lie and say that I don't notice immediately when I go to another community and all of a sudden, whoa, like the majority of people here don't look like me. Because
you're the token one.
Yeah, because I certainly do notice that. Everyone's conscious of it. I mean, welcome to the world of non-white people, living in places where it is majority white. But here's the issue, too, is that you especially won't notice this demographic change because we are still so segregated by neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
good point.
There are neighborhoods within Edmonds that are majority non-white.
I think how we're segregated today is different than how we were segregated of yesterday. Even though you can just draw and see where it was, where some folks weren't allowed to buy homes, and then now that you are allowed to buy those homes, that home's $1 million. So therefore, it's not necessarily about like, hey, you are a certain ethnicity, you can't live here. That's not what they're saying. They're saying like,
priced out.
You pay $1 million?
Yep.
Can you live here for $1 million?
Yep.
Oh, if you can't, I'm sorry. We would love to have you.
And
we just can't have you.
Just so who happens to have the legacy of more money and family wealth, well, that's what those neighborhoods look like.
Right.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've been gone for a long time. The text line is lighting up with people saying that they love diversity. I'll tell you, it's good to be back.
It is good to be back.
This is awesome.
Well, and our show celebrates diversity.
Yes, we do.
We're all about it. Okay, hey, did you hear about a lot of older tech workers in the Seattle area now kind of figuring out the math, and they're like, yeah, I'm done.
Come on.
The Seattle Times is reporting that some workers and I love how they say older tech workers, and they say some workers in their 50s and early 60s. That's me. But they're taking the buyouts now. They're retiring after layoffs or deciding they just don't want to ride the next big tech wave, especially with the whole AI thing changing the industry so quickly. Again, this is in the Times. One longtime Microsoft worker was offered 9 months of pay to leave. Others say they're just simply burned out, or ageism is very much in the forefront for a lot, and they know their time is numbered. Or for some, they're just ready to spend more time with family, hobbies, and life outside of work. But if you got to remember, if you leave before 65, Medicare has not kicked in yet, health insurance, and I think that's the big one that a lot of people don't realize how expensive that is when you don't have an employer paying for it. But even for some former tech workers, they say King County has become too expensive. So for them, retirement may mean just moving out entirely.
I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. They highlighted this person was 55.
Just younger than me.
Right. So this is something that I am starting to learn and better understand. Let's be real. Your 50s and maybe into your 60s, right? And I said into. I didn't go all the way. I would say 50s up until about 65, right? So 50s till 65. That 15-year deal, that's the fourth quarter of your earning potential, okay? That is straight up the fourth quarter. That's probably either it's going to be some of the best or it's going to be some of the time that you really have to save and prepare. This is why conversations start to get different. Some people start to do different things when they're in this age. They start to think about the fact that, hey, when I'm done working, I'm going to have to pay a bigger amount of my money towards health care and those things. I need to make sure before I'm out of the workforce, I get them surgeries and get all of those things, right, before you get up out of here, because when you get up out of here, it's going to be a different game. So what stood out to me in this article is this. Some people, if you have been able to live on one single income your entire career, man, call yourself privileged. Seriously.
Congratulations.
Because that's not the game today. One salary for a lot of people today, especially the younger folks coming up behind us, it's tough. It's tough. All right. We got scenarios coming up at 10:47, Ursula. But up next, I don't know. What are we doing next?
We're going to do some fun stuff on the Gee and Ursula Show.
All right. Gee and Ursula.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
I just can't dig it.
Dig what?
My water line.
Needs replacing?
And I don't want digging in my yard.
And maybe your driveway.
Can't dig it.
Don't dig it.
But how do you?
Apollo Plumbing replaces water lines without digging up your yard.
You're Dan.
From the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Apollo Plumbing.
Our trenchless technology replaces water and sewer lines.
Without digging up my yard?
2 little holes is all it takes.
Sounds better.
Faster, too.
And my yard?
Like we were never there.
Sounds spendy.
Not so much.
Oh?
In the end, about the same as that messy digging you don't want.
How do you figure?
Think about that landscaping you love.
Yeah?
Trenchless means you won't be paying to replace it.
Or my driveway.
We run everything underground.
Trenchless?
Do them all the time.
How about...
Easy payments?
Yeah.
With approved credit. Sure thing.
When can you get started?
We are the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Love that.
Apollo Plumbing, trenchless waterline replacement.
Sewer lines, too.
Can you dig that?
That I can.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Will?
When I was 50, my whole life fell apart. I lost my job, I lost my wife, I lost the house, I lost pretty much everything except for my life. When the IRS came calling, I just didn't have it in me. I felt like Wile E. Coyote, just waiting for that IRS anvil to drop.
Then Will found tax relief advocates.
I heard their advertisement on the radio, I wrote down the number, and I made the call that changed everything. The IRS gave me a bill for $40,000. Tax relief advocates got that down to $3,200. I've paid 9 cents on the dollar. Now that's a great deal in anybody's book.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Will did and call TRA for a consultation.
But for me, the real win is I got my life back.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-488-2578. 800-488-2578. That's 800-488-2578.
Check out the Puyallup Tribe's Firecracker Alley's new location at 3509 72nd Street East in Tacoma. Stock up now for your 4th and enjoy great food at Firecracker Alley. 3509 72nd Street East in Tacoma. Open now through July 4th.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications infections to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Underestimating the trucking industry is one of the biggest mistakes I see victims and other lawyers make. Trucking companies have an army of lawyers and experts who act quickly after an accident to protect the company. Only an experienced trucking accident lawyer can navigate the complicated federal and state laws to protect your rights. If you or a loved one has been injured in a trucking accident, call Davis Law Group today for a free consultation or get my free book on trucking accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Wendy's new Biggie Deals lets you choose whatever you're in the mood for. It's like a music mixing board of deals and you're the producer. Go with some chill folk music with a JBC in the $4 Biggie Bite snack. Try the drum and bass of deals with a double stack and a $6 Biggie bag. Or go full on sandwich symphony with an $8 Biggie bundle, the grand finale of snacking. And the best part? They all come with napkins. $4, $6, and $8 Biggie Deals how you want them at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. A federal judge has blocked President Trump's executive order aimed at creating a federal voter list and restricting mail ballots. The ruling is in favor of nearly 24 states, including Washington, saying the order unconstitutionally violates the separation of powers. The ruling halts the policy for the upcoming midterm election cycle. The order would have required a national voter database and limited USPS mail ballot delivery to voters on that list. Seattle police are still searching for the suspects after a High Point shooting that injured a 17-year-old early this morning in West Seattle. There is new information being released this morning by SPD. Before officers even found the victim, they discovered a crashed suspect vehicle near Sylvan Way Southwest and Delwood Way. After the suspects fled, SPD Detective Brian Pritchard.
Police recovered the suspect vehicle and found a rifle inside. Officers also recovered a firearm from bushes near where they located the victim.
Anyone with information is asked to call Seattle Police's Violent Crips tip line at 206-233-5000. King County prosecutors have charged a 15-year-old Tukwila boy in connection with a Kent homicide investigation. According to court documents, the teen fired multiple shots at a group of people, killing a 15-year-old girl on June 3rd. The teen also faces 1 count of first-degree murder, 4 counts of first-degree assault, and 1 count of unlawful possession of a firearm. Casey McNerthy with the King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office says a decision has been made about whether the teen will be tried as a juvenile or an adult.
That process usually takes several months. Prosecutors will make their case for having it in adult court, and the defense will make their case, and then ultimately it'll be up to a judge.
The boy will be back in court today. SeaTac Airport and U.S. Air Marshals are reminding people to leave their drones at home for the World Cup. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports they've also been hunting down drones over Seattle.
The TSA says most of the nearly dozen drones they've helped seize were flown by local pilots who didn't know they were flying in a restricted airspace during World Cup matches over Seattle Stadium. TSA's Adam Stahl.
We're going to continue to encourage individuals to leave their drones at home, particularly when they're in close proximity to stadiums and to the airport during, before, and after games.
The TSA has also enhanced security lines at SEA, which hit a record for passenger volume 3 times last week during World Cup action. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Flying a drone in a restricted airspace can land you up to $100,000 fine and federal charges. Now to your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. The HOV lane on southbound I-5 just north of SR 104 in Mount Lake Terrace has finally reopened. Other drive times right now, Federal Way to Seattle will take you about 40 minutes. Linwood to Seattle about 32 minutes. Bellevue to Federal Way is approaching 40 minutes in the HOV lanes, while Bellevue to Renton is around 18 minutes. This traffic report is brought to you by KIRO News Radio. For your forecast, sunshine today and cooler temperatures. Right now, it's about 60 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. You heard in one of Katrina's newscasts that Brandon Roy is back. He is heading back to Garfield High School in Seattle and is expected to be reintroduced as the boys basketball coach at a press conference later today. And gee, this is a big return. He's a Garfield alum. In case people haven't been following this story, but a former University of Washington star, former NBA All-Star, one of the most decorated basketball players the state has ever produced. He's also been an extremely successful high school basketball coach, winning 3 state titles at Garfield and another one at Nathan Hale. But what puts a bit of a wrinkle in this whole thing, this is not just one of those, hey, he's back, this is great. He was fired by Garfield last September after allegations of recruiting violations involving claims from a student from Auburn Mountain View, that student was offered things like an apartment, a car, money, paid driver's education if he transferred to Garfield. Now, Brandon Roy has denied those allegations, but Garfield saw what happened when they didn't have him as head coach. The school went 9-15. It was its worst record in more than 2 decades. So now I'm kind of curious as to his return if he was let go by this very same school for these allegations.
Right now, I feel like my mom.
Oh, no. Why? And how?
Well, so my mom, when I would be on some nonsense, which was a lot of the times, nobody could call me to the table better than my mom. As you guys know.
She would just cut through everything.
Full disclosure, like my mom was just a probation officer for white collar crime, okay? She dealt with the roughest, toughest, baddest in Chicago.
Okay, that's saying something.
For 35 plus years.
Yes. No nonsense.
No nonsense. So when I look at this story and I'm listening to what you described it in a great way. So it's one of 2 things. It's simple. He was fired a year ago. He has been rehired today.
Same school.
So therefore, I'm going to be waiting in Ursula's top stories. Sounds like there's going to be a lawsuit because then he was wrongfully fired. Hear me out. If he's rehired today, but he was fired yesterday, then I'm assuming that, okay, everything that we read and learned about was false because they rehired him, and there's probably going to be a lawsuit. Or if there's not a lawsuit, basically they say, Gee, quiet, man. Yeah, this happened, but it's okay now.
Because it happens elsewhere.
Because maybe it happens elsewhere, or I don't know.
Or we can't prove it.
So I don't know. Ursula, you and I, we confused. We can only report on, it's legal, our job is to report on what we know. What we know is a year ago, they fired him. Today, they rehired him. So I can only assume coming up pretty soon, there's probably going to be a wrongful firing lawsuit.
Or there isn't one because he's now been rehired.
Right. And so basically, if there isn't one and he's rehired, the school is saying to everybody, there's no lawsuit.
Nothing to look at here.
But nothing to look at here.
Yeah. It just, honestly, to me, it stinks to high heaven. And it's unfortunate because he is such a decorated player. He has done a lot. He did a lot at Garfield. But I'm curious because you're much more close to all of this than I ever have been or am certainly today, which is how much recruiting still goes on.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
Because we talk about it all the time.
No, we only talk about 2 sports, Ursula. I'm just going to tell you. Look, I'm going to put it right here. We only talk about basketball and football. That's it. Does it happen in other sports? Yes. Has there anyone listening right now? There's somebody listening right now who maybe they didn't even do sports, but they did not want their child to go to that school, so they made the decisions to do things to make sure that their child, because they couldn't afford private school, so they did the thing like, hey, Aunt Lois, can we use your address so we can go to that school in your district? Oh, no problem. Come on over. Like, you don't hear about recruiting violations in band, cross country, tennis, soccer.
The stakes aren't so high.
Oh, you definitely don't hear about it in baseball. And we all know it happens in baseball. There's a lot of you teams out there doing pretty well in baseball. It happens. But again, we only find out about basketball and football. I don't know why, but I'm just letting you guys know. Usually it's only basketball and football. So does it still happen today?
Yeah.
Yes. Will it probably continue? Yes. It's always been.
Yeah, it's just finding a new way to do it, right?
Yeah, I mean.
As long as competition is something that exists.
Don't put it in emails and text messages.
Okay, speaking of messages and things of that sort, are you following what's going on with Bill Gates and him answering questions under oath about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein? So he testified, and there's a newly released transcript from his interview with the House Oversight Committee, and now he admitted that he had met with Jeffrey Epstein up to 17 times between 2011 and 2014. And he says the meetings were about philanthropy and having access and getting introductions to other wealthy people. And he insists it was not a personal friendship. He also says he repeatedly turned down invitations to Epstein's private island and other social events. But he also admits he should have looked more closely at Epstein's criminal past. And he knew that Epstein's conviction was of a sexual nature, but he didn't understand. He's just displeading ignorance when it comes to how bad it got. But the transcript also reveals that Bill Gates had 3 extramarital affairs with, and he said that Epstein knew about at least 2 of them. And he thinks that Jeffrey Epstein was thinking about possibly using that information to blackmail him. But that blackmail never actually happened.
Yeah. My buddy Dave Jones, shout out to my guy Dave Jones, last night in the group text, Ursula. You know what he said?
What's that?
It don't matter. You can do whatever you want in this world today. It does not matter. Like nobody cares. And he said that.
Do you believe that, though? And that's the one I wanted you to bring up. Because you said that in this morning's meeting and it just hacked me off.
Well, Ursula, everything, let's just take Epstein, okay? Let's take the Catholic Church. Let's take Boy Scouts of America. Ursula, I hate to just say it to you, but the Epstein stuff, they are proving that nobody cares. And if they really cared about the truth, they would come out. I mean, for Bill Gates to say in front of the world under oath, well, yeah, I probably shouldn't have been friends with him. I just, I had no idea. Like, we're talking about one of the richest people in the world. They do background checks just for the dad to just drop his son off over at the house. Stop it.
Yeah.
But we don't care. I mean, I'm not even going to address the elephant in the room. You know I want to say it, but we got everybody else under oath to talk about Epstein except for extramarital affairs, strippers. Come on. We don't care.
But do you agree? Text us. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. Do we not care? Because I disagree. 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. That just makes me mad all over again. No, we do care.
All right. Hey, let's send those text messages in an 11 o'clock hour. Let's see what our people say.
Okay.
All right. Coming up next, scenarios.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
So, how's your research going?
Surprising! After I figured out the top-rated TVs in our price range, I went shopping for deals.
And who's the best?
It wasn't the internet, and it wasn't the warehouse club.
But?
It was video only. They had better deals on the Samsung, LG, and the Sony TVs that got the highest scores.
Better than online and at the club?
I know! Video only beat them all. And now we can afford an even better model for the same price. My research really paid off.
If we buy it video only.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'll be sorry.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
You know what you can trust? The protection you get when you bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive. You know what you can't trust? Everything else, apparently. Like when you saw that article that said that thing you eat every day is a superfood and great for your gut health, but then 30 seconds later, a different article warns you to avoid it and it's taking years off your life. Well, which is it? Kind of a big difference there. Anyway, bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive for reliable coverage in a reliably unreliable world. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Meet Lee Platts, a renter whose possessions fill not only her apartment, but also the darkest corners of a mini storage unit. A land of both truth and fiction. Truth, everything inside is protected by Progressive. Fiction, one day Lee will fit into her clothes from senior year of high school. Renters, discover coverage for what you love and what you can't get rid of in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. This June for Men's Health Month, Revive Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value, including testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit Bucky's.com.
There's a sink at the brink and a drain that's a pain.
DayandNight.net.
Slow drain, backed up toilet? Call Day and Night to save $100 off any drain cleaning.
Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating.
From a slow drain to a major backup, no drain is too big or too small. Whether we're your first choice or smart second opinion, I guarantee our experts will solve any drain problem, day or night.
Now get $100 off any drain cleaning.
DayandNight.net.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Hey, coming up at 11 o'clock, we got as Ursula says, we got a busy hour coming up.
Yeah, we do. We have a guest joining us.
We have a guest. He's the owner of a bake shop over there in the International District.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to hear from him firsthand accounts on what's happening or lack thereof happening over in that area. Also, we ask you all something because Ursula said she would like to believe that we care. Collectively, as a society, we care about what happened with the Epstein files, and that we care. And
when people cheat, when people, we don't just think it's okay to do the wrong thing and get away with it.
And I'm saying today that we don't care. Ernie texted in and says we have never cared. So anyway, a lot of your text messages have come in. So do we care? We'll do that coming up next. But right now, scenarios.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
I'm flying again this weekend, and it seems like every flight has someone with a service animal. Come on. Are people cheating with the whole service dog thing? There was a lady sitting next to me 2 weeks ago with a tiny spaniel wearing a vest that said service dog. It was a nice little dog, but we started talking, and she whispered that basically she only says it's a service animal because he can fly for free. She bought a vest from Amazon and just put it on the dog.
Oh,
now, I'm not afraid of the airlines, but this just isn't right. And I'm pretty upset about it. I'm thinking of starting to make a big deal about it on flights when I see something suspicious like this and get the flight attendants to check credentials, which you can't, on paperwork or something. My husband says I'm overreacting and there's no reason to create problems where they don't exist. But this is just not fair. What do you think? 888-973-5476. Muckleshoot Casinos or text line. I'll answer. It's what I've been telling you. It's what I've been saying today. Nobody cares. You don't have to do the right thing anymore. That has been made popular. Ursula, what you got?
The funny thing is, I also hear from people who say I just saw it on social media where someone was saying that their dog was turned away.
Oh, really?
Yes. And they said, we have taken this dog on other flights and it hasn't been a problem, but they were really upset with Southwest Airlines. I do better. Because they weren't allowed. So
do better. So basically, that person was cheating because.
Well, exactly. So were you cheating before, and they're finally cracking down?
Right.
And you don't like it,
right.
Or are they unfairly cracking down? Mm-hmm. I have seemingly seen more people bringing on their dogs in those carriers. And I always notice it because I know that Scooter would never survive in a carrier and no passengers would survive his whining while on flight.
Right.
It just wouldn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, he would not handle it very well.
Mm-hmm.
But I just find it to be low when people try to get away with it, faking their service animal just because they think they can and they want to. It's very selfish. Would I get so worked up that I would be making a big stink about it on a plane? Mm-hmm. No, I'd be more subtle about it.
All right, Ursula. Would you agree that hey, Ursula, would you agree that this scenario is kind of along the same vein of doing the right thing?
Yes.
I just want to tell you this.
Because it's important for me to do the right thing.
Before I go to Chef, let me just say this. I would argue, I'm going to say, here, I got another sweeping statement. I would argue today, doing the right thing 100% of the time, you're worse off in this country. You get penalized for doing things the absolute right way.
I have said that, actually. I have said that out loud. I see that when it comes to paying taxes and the things that my husband and I don't do, and we end up getting nailed because of it. Because we try to do the right thing.
At the same time, hold on, with the taxes stuff, people that own homes get a bigger tax break than people that don't own homes.
Can you guys say this stuff?
But I'm talking about other things that can be done to try to get around. I mean, and that's just one of many ways
but that's
that people try to
but right there,
get away with it.
But there's an example of people that own homes get a bigger tax break than those that don't.
Mm-hmm.
So
own a home.
So own a home, and if you own a home, should you take advantage of that tax break or should you not?
Of course. Yes.
Exactly. There it is. Everybody should take. So the thing is doing the right thing gets you crushed.
And I also think that you can find reasons to not do the right thing. And people are just really good at justifying doing the wrong thing.
Well, it makes you tired.
You guys are lucky, really lucky that you don't have kids right now who are in the house, because there's no way I can take that approach with my kid.
Nick, what you got, man?
I don't think anyone cares about cutting corners with this rule, nor does anyone on the plane look at the dog and see it as a problem if they're lying about the service dog, whether someone is faking their disability of not being able to hear, or even see going the extra mile with that walking cane pretending that they're blind. Keep the vest on the dog, whether it's legit or not. But even if someone does care deep inside there, I don't think they're going to speak up about it.
Yeah. Gotta do the right thing. Well, it's... I think I see now why sometimes, Ursula, that some people just say, forget it. I'm done doing the right thing. Because I'm looking around me and I'm seeing all these people. I'm seeing everyone just, and by the way, it's right in front of our face. Yeah. One thing I'll say about the man that's in charge, he doesn't do anything behind closed doors. He literally shows the world like, hey, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm doing this.
Is it enough, though, to do the right thing because you know, at least in your own conscience, you can live with yourself? I mean, that's ultimately why I do that.
I'm reminded every single day, and I look at people and I'll be like, man, I don't even know how you sleep at night. Coming up next here on the Gee Ursula Show, we got a guest on the show who has a business in this international district. He's going to tell us what's going on next. Gee Ursula.
Wrapped up like a deuce, another runner in the night, blinded by the light.
Summer is the time to feel and look your best, but I'm not talking about your abs or tan. Guys, I'm talking about your hair. Restore that bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning during Advanced Hair's once yearly summer savings event. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your very own hair the very next day, and they guarantee your new hair will grow. They are the team that addressed my hair loss, and I recommend them to everyone. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar. Advanced Hair's summer sales event is on for a limited time. So get the details and schedule your free consultation today. 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. With Advanced Hair, your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Check out the incredible before and afters and make the call now while their summer savings event is still on. That's 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Puyallup Tribe's Firecracker Alley is now open. 3509 72nd Street East in Tacoma. Stock up now for the 4th at Puyallup Tribe's Firecracker Alley. Open now through July 4th. With over 100 fireworks stands and a variety of food and beverage options, you're sure to get your 4th of July off to a great start at Firecracker Alley. Don't miss the free fireworks show on June 30th. Learn more at puyalluptribe-nsn.gov. That's puyalluptribe-nsn.gov.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine.
Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
RV buyers save thousands at the 10th Annual Summer RV Blowout Sale, June 18th through the 28th at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds. Top manufacturers with every floor plan imaginable, exclusive dealer rebates, huge discounts on new and used models, factory reps on site, enjoy free lunch, plus a year's worth of free camping. The 10th Annual Summer RV Blowout Sale, June 18th through the 28th at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds in Monroe, hosted by Open Road RV, free parking and admission.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. The Supreme Court has ruled that the maker of Roundup weed killer can't be sued under state law for failing to warn users about the product's alleged cancer risk because the EPA didn't require a warning label when approving the product for sale. ABC's Stephen Portnoy in Washington.
The case involved a man who won $1 million lawsuit in state court, alleging that Monsanto violated Missouri law by failing to warn on the label that the weed killer Roundup might cause cancer.
Conservative Supreme Court majorities say the government can keep asylum seekers from entering the U.S. and can cancel the temporary protected status granted Haitians and Syrians. U.S. help is going to Venezuela after deadly earthquakes overnight. Search and rescue teams headed there from Los Angeles and Virginia, over 160 dead. The latest reading of the Federal Reserve's primary metric for gauging inflation says that last month, inflation accelerated 4.1% over May of last year. This is ABC News. Tennis great Chris Everett says tests show her ovarian cancer has returned. She says she's had surgery as her first step, and she will not be attending Wimbledon this year. Europe's deadly heat wave is not letting up. The Spanish health ministry says 212 people died from the heat between Sunday and today. Tourists.
It's not very convenient for people and not expected at all.
So many people who've traveled from around the world aren't getting to see the sights that Paris has to offer because of this heat wave, and it's dangerously hot.
Possible signs that New York's Madison Square Garden could be the venue for Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's wedding. New York City officials tell ABC News that an event company filed a permit that requested the street outside the garden be closed around the July 4th holiday. It listed the size of the event as between 500 and 999 people. Some reports say the wedding could be on July 3rd. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
We'll have more on that explosion over in Whidbey Island, but first, a check on the roads with KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. This traffic report is brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. All right, everything's moving fairly well across most major routes right now. Southbound I-5 from Seattle to Federal Way is running about 25 minutes, while northbound Federal Way to Seattle is about 40 minutes. Across Lake Washington, both I-90 and SR 520 are pretty smooth right now, with Seattle to Bellevue trips taking you about 15 minutes. The slowest spots remain on 405, where Bellevue to Federal Way is taking about 40 minutes right now, and Bellevue to Tukwila is also approaching 40 minutes. Allow extra time if you're traveling from the East Side Corridor. This traffic report is brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. Don't miss firework nights all summer, presented by T-Mobile. Next up is the Patriotic Show on July 3rd. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. A neighbor thinks fireworks caused a home to explode on Whidbey Island that sent 3 firefighters to the hospital. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports there's still an unexploded ordnance inside that very home.
Tanya tells me the moment she saw her house on fire driving home, she immediately thought about her neighbor.
Oh, I'm sure it's the fireworks. He bought a truckload last year
They brought it in over the Ocean Pass in a semi-truck.
2 fire chiefs and a firefighter were rushed to a hospital with blast injuries. ATF agents will pick up the investigation Thursday, including an official cause, whether or not fireworks were involved. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Tanya's 5 dogs had to be rescued from her home. The injured firefighters were last listed in stable condition. A search at Alder Lake has turned into a recovery effort. Crews are looking for a 24-year-old paddleboarder who went underwater yesterday afternoon. The Pierce County Sheriff's Office says he fell off his board around 4 o'clock and never resurfaced. He was not wearing a life jacket. Crews will resume their recovery mission this morning. A float plane crash in the Columbia River has killed 2 men. According to the Tri-City Herald, the plane hit a power line near Clover Island in Kennewick yesterday. The Franklin County coroner confirms both men on board died. The crash sent the plane and a live wire into the water. A U.S. Coast Guard crew airlifted an injured woman from Mount Larrabee more than 6,000 feet up in the Mount Baker wilderness.
I'm so glad they have you!
The crew launched Saturday after the 33-year-old hiker fell 120 feet, suffering serious injuries in the remote terrain. After a nearly hour search, the air crew spotted a signal from other hikers before flying the woman to Bellingham for medical care. Downtown Seattle was flooded with blue and white as Bosnia and Herzegovina took on Qatar for a surprise win yesterday. KIRO News Radio's Jillian Raftery was there.
There were high hopes.
You know, we need a win today.
And then there was the reality of the blowout 3-1 victory.
We smell like beer now because the celebrations were throwing beer at everybody.
For a team born out of a war-torn country that gained independence just 30 years ago and is only making its second World Cup appearance, it was a stunning milestone. In Seattle, Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
For your weather report right now, we'll have some sunshine today with a mix of clouds. Highs are much cooler in the 80s. Right now, it's about 61 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. You know, a conversation is good whenever it spills over to the newsroom. And our good buddy, Nate the Great, I don't even remember his last name. Nate the
Connors.
Great. Nate Connors. You know, I call him Nate the Great.
I know you do.
Nate Connors comes in, and we always, full disclosure, we always ask Nate the Great, hey, what's the show been about today? And he always remarks what it's about. And he said the conversation he paid attention to was about people not caring.
When we were talking about Jeffrey Epstein and Bill Gates and the things that people get away with when they're not doing the right thing. I'm still going to wholeheartedly disagree because I do think people care. Not enough of the right people care, though. The ones who can actually do something, which is why I will just always say more important than ever that you exercise democracy and you vote.
They cared about the crack rock.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. You made me stop and think for a second
They
there.
cared about the crack rock, didn't they?
Yes. Okay, so Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, do you care? Do you just assume, you know what, people are going to get away with it and I'm just going to mind my own business? Text us. 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. If you don't do texting, but you are on social media, check out our Gee and Ursula Show Facebook page. You can see our happy, smiling faces on there, too, as we enjoy the World Cup festivities.
And we got sheriffs and their spouse paying attention to the Gee and Ursula Facebook page.
We do.
The sheriff and their spouse.
Yeah, giving us lovely messages.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
So as you know, this region, and Seattle in particular, have been preparing for this World Cup for years. And there were all sorts of promises that hosting such a high-stakes international event would be of great benefit to local businesses. But it looks like some businesses that should be reaping the benefits are actually getting left behind. And case in point is from this guy.
I think the World Cup games in Seattle caused my business to have the worst sales day that it's ever had.
That is Vince Vu, who is the owner of Ennui Bake Shop in Seattle's International District. And we have actually invited Vince to join us live. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you all?
Good. I'll tell you, I was scrolling on TikTok and I saw your post and my heart broke a little bit because we've been talking about what a great event this has been for the city. And I love the International District. And so to hear that some people are actually suffering from it, I wanted our listeners to hear from you directly. What have the last couple of weeks been like for you?
Yeah, it's been really tough. I agree with you. I love Seattle. I love the city. And I do love that we are getting some support. And, you know, the World Cups are definitely benefiting some parts of the city, but it's actually harming other parts, the parts that I think need the most help. And so here in the CID, it's been really challenging for all of us. I think we see a ton of crowds, a ton of people, you know, going from point A to B, especially to the train station, but the businesses are empty. It's sort of the worst days that we tend to have.
And go ahead, Gee. Okay. Well, and why do you think that is? Like, what is not happening?
I think there's a couple things part of it. I mean, like, definitely, I think the lack of more activations in the ID catered to sports fans is one big part of it. I think there's probably also very little overlap, or at least perceived overlap, between sports tourists and what the ID can offer. It kind of breaks my heart a little bit to see so many people on the streets, but to see all these really great legacy businesses that serve locals, to see us all kind of struggling during game days.
So I do love what you had to say about the activation part of it. I do think that there should have been more things to happen to drive folks over there. But one of the analogies that I used earlier today on the show was that people are kind of like, think of a pool of water, right? And a pool of water where you have one that's kind of collected up is real big and then the other is not so much. The visitors, the tourists, the folks that are coming, they're going to try to stay closer, right, to where the crowds are, and they don't want to veer too far away, right? And so I think that, and by the way, full disclosure, there are people that like to demonize Seattle, right? They do this on a constant basis. And when they do that, they specifically talk about certain streets and or areas in which there are. So when the tourists come here, my man, a lot of the people are told, hey, stay in this area, but stay away from this area.
Absolutely. I think for sure the CID falls under that area of Seattle that you don't want to stray away, like go into, right? People, I think the reputation is that it's more of like a sketchy area that's unsafe, which is, you know, the furthest it can be from the truth. I think there's also some truth there that when the CID surges with visitors, you know, all the parking is taken up, locals are being told to stay away. Like, there's city messages saying, hey, stay out of downtown. There's going to be severe traffic impacts. All we serve are locals here in the CID, right? And so there's probably a combination of, you know, folks being told, tourists being told, like, better avoid the CID, and the locals staying home because they're afraid of what's happening because of all the crowds.
Actually, I'm going to just tell you, you nailed it, Vince, because that is exactly what is happening. My husband works for King County, and he normally works downtown. And he was saying that they have been told, don't come into the office. Because of the crowds. So if you're already dealing with office vacancies, which, you know, for people who don't know, the International District is just adjacent to downtown. So if you're dealing with office vacancies already, and then you've got a big event where people are being told, go this direction, and if you actually are still among those who still work downtown, don't come in, I can't see how it would be good for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's got to be some sort of middle ground, right? Like, we spent so much money to support the tourists here, and we made our city look amazing. And at the same time, like, I think locals are, being told to stay home and kind of stay away from the area. There's got to be something in the middle. And for all of us culturally specific businesses, like, we serve Seattle, we serve the locals. And when the locals aren't here, and the tourists are certainly not replacing the traffic in any of our businesses, then it's a double pain for us, right? We were told for so long, many businesses were told to staff up, right? Like, they overstaffed, they bought extra ingredients, they prepped extra because that there were going to be surges of crowds that like none of us could ever deal with, right? So businesses did that, and they saw no one, right? And they had historic low sales days. So I think it's just, we're all sort of hurting here. I think games going forward, we're all very skeptical of like what's going to happen. And I wouldn't be surprised if many businesses, I'm even considering like, maybe I should just close on a game day because the impact of staffing the store is not worth the reduced traffic that I get because of a game day.
You listen to the owner of Vince Vu. He's the owner of An Oi Bake Shop that's over in the International District. And Vince, let me ask a couple questions of you. First, how long have you been in business in the International District?
I'm actually relatively new to the International District. I've been in business a long time, but my new storefront here is about 2 months old.
Okay. And the next question is how far are you away from Jackson, right? Because one of the buzzwords in this town is 12th and Jackson. How far are you away from there, sir?
I'm 6 blocks away. So okay. I'm on 6th and Jackson.
Okay, 6th and Jackson. Vince, let me just say this, and I want you to speak to this angle. I'll tell you what I have seen over my years. See, I grew up in Chicago. And in Chicago, there used to be where the White Sox played, it was Comiskey Park. And Comiskey Park was right next to the projects, Robert Taylor Homes, right? And so when people would come to the games, they would tell folks, hey, this is a bad neighborhood, which, by the way, it kind of was. It was a bad neighborhood. You kind of stay away from this neighborhood. You got to stay away. And so you would think that there would be investments into those places. And it's almost like they did not invest in those areas. Wait, watch this. Until those areas went down in property so much, then when it was time, they cleaned the area up, if you will, and then they bought property. So now around that same area, it's different than it was 30 years ago. My question to you is do you feel that way in the International District? It's almost like on purpose, nobody is investing. When I say nobody, the city, everyone, big investments there so they can make sure the properties continue like, oh, it's a bad area. But one day, let's be real, that's prime property. The International District is right there close to the stadium. You can hear the World Cup going, but nobody's coming to your business.
Yeah, and I do hear the World Cup. I can hear everything. We're very close. I do think it's very convenient that the places where tourists are and the places where money is being spent are cleaned up and very nice and very neat and clean. And the areas that we are seeing experience rates of, the unhoused and open markets, open drug markets are away from the tourist areas, right? And they're in historically, under disadvantaged populations that have very little power to fight back to City Hall. We are very splintered here, and there's just weaker coalitions. And so I do think that we have fewer tools, I think, to advocate for our communities. And I don't think it's a mistake that all of, Third Avenue's issues seem to have relocated to 12th and Jackson.
And that is what you're seeing, because I did get a letter from another listener yesterday, Jackie, who said, Ursula, how can you ask on your show why more people aren't visiting Chinatown and the International District when just a few minutes earlier you were talking about 12th and Jackson, which is at the core edge of Chinatown, and where she said she, someone who grew up there, no longer feels safe walking there. I mean, what in your perfect world, what would the city be doing right now, whether it's during this World Cup or just moving forward?
I mean, the Mayor Katie Wilson recently released a statement about her actions on 12th and Jackson. And so I think we're all sort of waiting for those additional investments. Like everything that they're saying are things that I think the research points to are ways to combat what's happening there. We're just not seeing it. We're just not seeing the action. And again, I know that things move at a glacial pace at a city level, but businesses can't afford to wait that long, especially our types of businesses. We're all mom and pop businesses. We have no investment. We're all bootstrapped. We're all like relying on family workers, right? Like we can't afford to live that long or to survive. Our business can't afford to survive that long. And so I think that what they're saying that they want to do, I think, are the right steps, right? We want to take care of these issues in like a very empathetic way. But at the same time, like I think there's there's a lack of momentum. And there's a lot of words. Like I keep hearing so many words about like what we're going to do, what we're going to do, what we're going to do. I can look outside, I'm waiting.
Vince, I want to make sure that people know where your business is if they want to support your business. Where, again, you said you were 6 blocks away from 12th and Jackson. The name of it and what you serve.
Sure. So yeah, we are an LA Bake Shop. We are at 6th and Jackson. And we are an Asian American bake shop. So in addition to my own cookies, we are actually a platform for other local Asian American bakers in the area. So we have products on the shelves from local bakers all across the Seattle region. They're all small businesses. We exist to sort of spotlight the small businesses that you may not normally see on shelves.
Vince, hey man, I love what you do. And I would probably usually would end this on a good note, but I can't leave yet. I got to come back to you. You said something that was very interesting. You said that there are a lot of businesses around you that are just trying to hold on. Is that what you said? See, Hey, Vince, let me tell you about history. This happened in the Central District. This happened across the country in all cities where you had businesses trying to hold on. And there are the powers that be. They know you're trying to hold on, and they're waiting for you to sell. They're waiting for you to give up those places so they can do what? Because I can tell you that there's plans unwritten that in 20 years, that the International District, that is, again, let me repeat, that is prime real estate. And so it almost feels like the words that they keep talking are different from the actions. Because if there was actions and they cleaned that place up and made it great, that means the people that are there right now trying to hold on would benefit from that. So as long as they keep talking and using 12th and Jackson as the buzzwords and keep downing that place, then more people will stay away. Business will hurt, and then guess what ends up happening? Those businesses and that real estate gets a little cheaper, and then the rich people can come in and buy it, and then all of a sudden they build it up.
Yeah, I mean, we see the same trend, right? We saw it in New Orleans, right? We saw it in every place that has a unique cultural center made by real people with very little power, and they're just trying to live their life and do what they can and create an amazing amenity for the city, like the International District. That's there because there's real people there. And we are fully aware that we are in a great location right next to downtown. Mm-hmm. We're also fully aware that the levels of investment and support that we get are not commensurate with the other places that are near downtown. And yeah, after you see these patterns over and over, you have to kind of wonder why. So I hear what you're saying.
Well, Vince, I want to say that your message was heard loud and clear by our show, and we are glad that we can help amplify your voice. I hope that you continue to speak out about this, because I think what you're saying is very important, and the International District in Chinatown is very important to preserve, even though it may not feel like people are showing that. And so I hope we can check in with you and continue to push for the changes that are necessary to preserve such an important part of our community. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thanks for amplifying our voices.
Real quick, is there anything we didn't ask you? Is there anything you want to say before you go? I want to make sure we did our due diligence here.
Yeah, please continue to support local. I know it's a pain to get downtown with all the tourists out there. I know it's a pain with all the road closures, but all of us businesses, not just us here in the ID, but all of us, we're all struggling and we need the local support. So please, I know it's such a pain, but if you can, come get lunch, come get breakfast, come do something to try to make sure that we can all survive while all the tourists are here.
Vince, thank you so much. It's Anhui Bake Shop, AHNOI Bake Shop in the International District. And I hope after hearing this, you see, and yes, I can just attest to the fact that it's not scary to come downtown, and the traffic wasn't even that bad. Seriously.
Yeah.
And the parking wasn't that bad. You know, I complain about parking.
Yeah. Sometimes, Ursula, I wish history and what we have seen in the past, I wish that was just a one-time thing. I wish it was a one-off thing. And I wish I would sit here and talk about this topic and be like, no, G, that was the past. That's not going to happen again. but it feels like, you know what I mean? It feels like, you hear the beat of a song come on and you're like, hey, I know that song. I know this song.
We have
the
ability to change what has happened in the past.
Because these neighborhoods that we're talking about,
yes,
these are the neighborhoods that I grew up in.
Yeah.
I grew up in these neighborhoods. So these neighborhoods, my family, we grew up in these neighborhoods that, hey, don't go to that area, watch that area. And those same watch that area are now, that's prime real estate. What changed? Hey, coming up next here on the show, Ursula, we got to agree to disagree. Gee and Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes. KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Okay, we're taking a little break from the hot, sunny days, but summer is here. And in the Northwest, that means we all look for reasons to get out and about, whether you are planning a trip to the mountains this weekend or the coast, the lake, campsites, even just a weekend drive. And you have to deal with the traffic. But what are you driving right now? Our family drives Subarus from Carter Subaru. We have 2 cars that we purchased from Carter Subaru, and it's because this is a dealership that has everything that you want in a dealership. A couple of weeks ago, we were talking about buying a new car, and so many people were texting in and saying, oh my God, that's like getting a root canal. Well, it doesn't have to be, and you're going to find out how good it can be by going to Carter Subaru. Right now, Carter Subaru can help you get ready for all your summer plans. You can get the 2026 Subaru Forester with financing starting at just 1.9%. So whether you're hauling the kids this summer, or your dogs, or your camping gear, or some combination of all of the above, start with a new car from Carter Subaru. Carter Subaru is in Ballard, Shoreline, or online at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 6/30/26.
Staples Easy Deal Days are here. Score up to 50% off more than 1,000 products in-store and online. It all ends July 4th. Staples. That was easy.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Nick, you know what's a great thing about going to Longevity Medical Clinic as a couple?
Oh, I absolutely do. When they tell you to do something, you actually do it.
Right. And the same thing with you. When they tell you to do it, because for some reason, when I tell you to do it, you're like, whoa.
I just walk away and roll my eyes.
Exactly. But the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic, the doctors there know, because we do the blood draw and they look and they can see. They know. They hold us accountable.
Yeah, when I'm under pressure and I know I'm coming in, I know I have to work the program.
Right. Plus, we also want to hold each other accountable for how we take care of ourselves because, we want to have a long, healthy, happy life.
I know. I want every day to torture you as long as I possibly can.
Well, I look forward to it. Here's the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic. They're working with you. They're holding you accountable because they want you to have a long, healthy, happy life. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? Get the same breakthrough one-day treatment I received at Advanced Hair during their once yearly summer savings event. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during their best offer of the year. For details and a free consultation, call 425-449-8185, advancedhair.com.
Get any size high-efficiency AC for just $179.99 a month with zero upfront costs. CM Heating's Comfort as a Service includes lifetime repairs and annual maintenance at no extra charge. Book your free estimate at CM cmheating.com today.
License number CMHEAHL 751LW.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY, and I want to wish you a happy Independence Day. The 4th of July is my favorite. It's about family, gratitude, patriotism, and amazing exploding lights in the sky. Perhaps I love it most because it's called Independence Day. I love to fight for my clients' independence. Your right to drive, to provide for your family, your right to do stuff. You feel liberty most when you lose it. Remember buying a box of bottle rockets and salute shells with nothing more than a "have fun, kids"? Well, things have changed since then, including the consequences of a DUI. We're your safe and sane solution to keep freedom ringing. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com. Red, white, and blue are the colors of freedom, unless they're flashing behind you. 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Every day, caregivers change lives. Caregiving offers flexibility and the chance to make a real difference in your community. It's not just caring work, it's hard work. The kind of work that calls for empathy, patience, problem solving, reliability, and both physical and mental strength. It may be the hardest job you'll ever love. Right now, Washington faces a caregiver shortage, and your skills and your heart are needed more than ever. Visit caregivercareerswa.com for resources and support to start or return to your caregiving career.
Sponsored by DSHS and aired by the WSAB and this station.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit buckys.com.
AC acting up? Don't assume the worst. Home Comfort Alliance repairs first and only replaces if it makes sense. If you do need a new one, ask about an ultra-efficient heat pump and get real pricing in 60 seconds. Call the Comfort People. HomeComfortAlliance.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. An urgent search and rescue effort is underway after two massive earthquakes, a magnitude 7.2 and 7.5, struck Venezuela. At least 164 people are confirmed dead and nearly 1,000 others are injured. ABC News foreign correspondent Marcus Moore says the airport is among many of the structures damaged from the quakes.
We understand that one of the runways was cracked, so that will undoubtedly affect the emergency response that is really just now getting underway. The power is out in parts of the country, and people being evacuated from businesses and buildings. And so these are, without a doubt, the most critical hours in the race to save people who may be trapped in the rubble.
Here in Washington, Seattle police are investigating an early morning shooting in West Seattle's High Point neighborhood that left a teenage boy wounded. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has details.
SPD says 911 callers reported rapid gunfire just before 1 a.m. near Southwest Morgan Street and Sylvan Way Southwest. SPD Detective Brian Pritchard says along with one victim, 3 vehicles and 2 buildings were hit by gunfire.
Officers arrived and found a 17-year-old boy suffering from a gunshot wound to his hip. Medics transported the victim to Harborview Medical Center in serious but stable condition.
Officers found a suspect vehicle crash nearby. They also recovered a rifle and a handgun. So far, no arrests have been made. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
The person found dead in one of the homes destroyed in last week's wildfire in Spokane has been identified.
The Spokane County Medical Examiner says the remains found in one of the 14 burned homes were those of 83-year-old Marilyn Haugen. County Emergency Management Deputy Director Chandra Fox told county commissioners this week that one of the destroyed homes was vacant and was where the fire started.
There was either a squatter or someone in that structure who should not have been.
But Spokane County Fire District 9 says it's still investigating the cause and origin of the upriver fire, which broke out on June 16th and burned more than 200 acres. It is now fully contained. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
It's been the home of the New York Knicks championship run already this year, but there are possible signs that New York's Madison Square Garden could be the venue for Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's wedding. New York City officials told ABC News that an event company filed a permit that requested the street outside the venue be closed around the July 4th holiday. The permit also said the size of the event could be between 500 and just under 1,000 people. ABC's Aaron Katursky has more.
The event company declined to comment. So did representatives for Taylor Swift
Captain Travis Kelce.
It wouldn't be the first wedding at Madison Square Garden. Music legend Sly Stone married model and actress Kathy Silva there in 1974. 20,000 people attended the concert spectacular.
For your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic, this traffic report is brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio App. Everything's moving so far, so well. Southbound I-5 from Seattle to Federal Way is about 25 minutes, while northbound is also around 35 minutes. Across Lake Washington, both I-90 and SR 520 are moving smoothly, with Seattle to Bellevue trips taking about 15 minutes. The slow spots remain on I-5, where Bellevue to Federal Way is about 40 minutes, and Bellevue to Tukwila is also about 40 minutes. Text app to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO News Radio app, listen to your favorite shows, and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. For your forecast, some sunshine and clouds today. Cooler temperatures in the low 80s. Right now, it's about 60 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. Nikki just texted in something I want to mention. She said, I'm so glad you had a local community member come on the show. Every time you guys have a small business owner come on and talk about their storefront, feels like this platform is being used to its fullest. And she says, I know it's a news-focused show, but our community is also a big part of the news. And Nikki, you're absolutely right. And I'm so appreciative of Vince for joining us. I mean, his messages were spot on. And if you can support his business or any other business over there in the International District, it would be greatly appreciated.
Can I say something, Nikki?
Of course.
That's because we care about people more than politics.
This is true. This is true. I know you're feeling this really in your heart right now, very deeply.
Yeah, because I just get so tired of some of these folks out here that they literally care about politics or money more than people, and they try to hide it. Matter of fact, I respect the ones that don't hide it.
Yeah.
I don't respect the ones that try to straddle the fence and pretend like, oh, no, that's not what I meant. Their hands in the air, and then they're like, oh, no, that's not what I meant. That old Pacific Northwest passive-aggressive stuff, right? And I'm just sick and tired of people peeing on my damn leg and trying to tell me it's rain. Like, dude, I'm 50 years old. You think I'm dumb? All right.
Okay, I was trying to be positive about that, though.
My bad.
Okay, let's agree to disagree.
Sorry about that.
Brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
Quick segue.
Y'all see what Ursula be having to go through sometimes. Go ahead.
I was like, what the heck?
You know what? I'm really good at changing the vibes at dinner parties when someone has like an awkward statement. Like, anyways, moving on. I do this all the time. That's what I get paid for. All right. I want to talk about what California is doing, and what they're doing with food packaging could change the way that the nation views when products are actually still good to use or not. So they're getting rid of sell-by dates on packaging. This is a movement to reduce food waste. They will still have labels on the packages. So for freshness, it will say best if used by, or best if used or frozen by, or they will say used by or user freeze by. Gee, what do you think about getting rid of sell by dates?
Hate it.
What? Why?
Glad you asked, Ursula. Have you guys ever gone to food pantries? Have you ever gone to try to get some food at the food bank? One of the things that people try to do is people have been doing a better job. By the way, our grandparents and our parents, they used to keep stuff. Oh, baby, I know it say 1987, but it's okay. Go ahead. It's going to be good.
Okay, that's extreme.
It is.
Yeah.
But y'all remember, them grandmamas used to be back in the day. It was crazy. But the reason why this is a slippery slope, I understand why there's reasons to like it. And the reason why I don't like it, because at the food banks, then now it's an opportunity to be having something for 15 years and there's no sale-by date, and so you don't have a reference to where how long that can has been around. And so sometimes people, when they go to food banks, they're getting, like, if you've been, you guys know, like, there's bad food sometimes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Now is there, because I don't know enough of what they're doing in California, but I'm going to imagine that there are some safeguards in place so that you aren't eating like 10-year-old food that you shouldn't be eating. But there's certain
Correct.
things that have so many preservatives that it really doesn't matter how old it is.
Yeah.
So I actually like this idea. And the reason I say that is because I am so beholden to those sell-by dates that I am guilty of throwing out perfectly good food because I've believed the sell-by dates. And Mark and I always look at each other and we're like, because I'll say at the same time, I'll say, oh my God, we just got this, it's $5. And then we'll go on to say, but $5, if we end up getting food poisoning, that's like going to be the least of our worries, the $5 that we're wasting. But
Yeah.
we end up wasting so much food.
Yeah, I think this is going in the right direction, but I question whether it's going to solve anything. Because if a package still has best if used by date,
I'd rather have that, though.
that's still going to provide people with, best if used by, it's not going to be good, after that date, which is simply not true. I think there's no way of getting around the human psychology of a label that says, well, it was best 5 days ago, but it's not anymore. That means it's bad. Let me ask you a question, though, because, even outside of packaged food, like we deal with this in our homes, right? And what's in our refrigerator. How long do you guys consider a home-cooked meal, let's say a chicken casserole that you guys had for dinner on Monday?
Yeah.
When do you throw it out by?
I would probably give it through the weekend, which is too long for most people. My husband says 3 or 4 days.
Y'all know the difference. Some of y'all do this with your laundry.
You smell it.
Some of y'all do this with your laundry. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all out there with the sniff test. Sometimes. But let me go back to this. And like I said, I understand why people would like something like this, because there are some processed foods that them things can live through a nuclear war. You know what I mean? It's like, there's nothing can happen to that food. But at the same time, this is really scary for the food banks because, again, this comes in and you have no idea how long that canned food has been in the pantry. There's no way to know that. At least today, right now, with the dates, food banks encourage you, like, hey, can you kind of watch the dates a little bit if you're going to be coming donating food? And so people are doing a better job these days of when they go to donate food, they're kind of conscious of the sell-by date and all that stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd be curious how it works out in California.
By the way, we lived.
There's still going to be dates. But
Gen X, we boomers, and our grandmamas used to keep the food. We lived. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I actually think I have a stronger constitution because of it.
Yeah. Ursula, just so you know, by the way, Mark is wrong. 3 or 4 days, your food is generally completely safe.
Yeah.
For a week, at least, so long as it's properly cooled.
By the way,
completely fine.
I cooked some mushrooms yesterday, y'all. Now listen. Now I realized something because I've been gone. You guys know I've been traveling and all kinds of stuff. And Ursula, I went to go cook the mushrooms. I put them in there. I said.
Uh-oh.
I was like, man, thinking, so I went to go get on good old ChatGPT.
Yeah.
I'm like, these mushrooms. And like, that might be borderline. And so I just, cooked it a little extra in there. I cooked it a little extra. And then when I cooked it extra, I didn't smell it no more.
Yes.
I stopped smelling it, Ursula. I put them things in. I said,
and it tastes good?
We back to mushrooms.
And you're good? Okay.
There's virtually nothing in food that is not canned that can't be killed by heat.
The funny thing is, my husband gets more stomach issues than I do. And I think I have a bit of more...
Do you think it's psychosomatic?
No. But where I agree with my husband, it's not worth it sometimes to take that risk.
Agree.
It's like,
Wait a minute, Ursula, especially the older we get.
Yeah, exactly.
We ain't like that no more. And by the way, have you guys noticed something? This is being serious. Ursula, remember back when we were growing up, bread would go... You have bad ends of the bread. It go bad fast.
Yes.
Have y'all noticed how long bread lasts these days?
You ever seen tortillas?
Oh, tortillas.
Holy crap.
Tortillas
they can go forever. They go a little dry.
Tortillas been rocking since the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
No, but But have you noticed that on the bread? It takes a long time for bread to go bad these days. Back in the day, you just take the little piece off and go. Or cheese, take a little piece off and go.
Oh, cheese still good like that.
Still good. Yep. Matter of fact, I'd even argue if it's a little bad, it's even better.
Oh God, no.
All right. Text messages. Remember, we ask you, do we even care anymore when it comes to the Epstein files and other things? We'll do that next. Gee Ursula.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-572-3344. That's 800-572-3344.
Progressive knows you've got plenty of things to worry about.
What time does the kids' practice end? How long has that check engine light been on? Are takeout containers microwave safe?
So the last thing you should have to worry about is what to do if something unexpected happens on the road. That's why if you're ever in a major accident, Progressive's accident response can detect it and send help. It's just one less thing to worry about.
How long does chicken last in the fridge?
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Limited availability in California. Driver is responsible for emergency and towing charges not covered by the policy.
Are you an adult with uncontrolled moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms and still packing a backup bag of clothes? Just in case, Skyrizi Risankizumab Riza can help you take control of your Crohn's. Feel significant symptom relief, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help people achieve remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Individual results may vary. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's. Ready to take control of your Crohn's? Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease.
Control is everything to me.
Learn more at skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466, 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? Get the same breakthrough one-day treatment I received at Advanced Hair during their once-yearly summer savings event. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during their best offer of the year. For details and a free consultation, call 425-449-8185, advancedhair.com.
Are you thinking about getting a new TV this week at prime prices? Maybe a Samsung, LG, or a Sony? Before you click, you should check out Video Only, because they've got below prime deals. That's right, top-rated TVs at better than online prices. Curbside pickup or home delivery are available. Don't click before you call Video Only, because if you do, you'll be sorry.
Healthcare costs are rising, and a major driver is hospital prices. They've increased more than 250% over the past 25 years. Families and local businesses are feeling it. At Primera Blue Cross, we're working to change that by negotiating with hospitals to secure fair, responsible prices so you can get the care you need at a cost you can afford. That's coverage that counts. Learn more at coveragethatcounts.primera.com.
When the heat's an 11.
Cool AC would be heaven.
DayandNight.net. Stay cool this summer with a new AC or heat pump from Day and Night. And with installation, you'll get a free furnace.
Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. Call us about installing a high-efficiency cooling system or servicing your existing one so you're cool when you need it.
Get a new AC or heat pump now from Day and Night to stay cool this summer. Plus, with installation, you'll get a free furnace.
DayandNight.net.
Experience the thrill of seeing orcas and humpback whales with Puget Sound Express. Join their family-run tours for guaranteed whale sightings departing daily from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book now at PugetSoundExpress.com.
Puyallup Tribe's Firecracker Alley is now open. 3509 72nd Street East in Tacoma. Stock up now for the 4th at Puyallup Tribe's Firecracker Alley. Open now through July 4th. With over 100 fireworks stands and a variety of food and beverage options, you're sure to get your 4th of July off to a great start at Firecracker Alley. Don't miss the free fireworks show on June 30th. Learn more at puyalluptribe-nsn.gov. That's puyalluptribe-nsn.gov.
It's Gee and Ursula, everybody. Good to have you with us. Now, Ursula, you know how I feel about all these text messages around this segment, but we got some good stuff today.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
And it's been a minute since you've been on the show,
Yeah.
so I'm going to let you start.
Oh, I ain't got nothing.
Oh, Seattle cleaning up for the World Cup. You're killing me. Scott on Orca says, I've got a question. I'm not trying to be argumentative or pick a side. Y'all talk about how the city cleaned up for the World Cup. Is lipstick on a pig, hiding the clutter in the closet, temporary. So where's the closet? Where did they move the homeless and those gangsters that are normally downtown? In all seriousness, I guess I'm asking exactly how temporary is this? Is it just the number of personnel the city has in the area? Well, a lot of people are asking that very same thing. While I was walking around yesterday, I was talking to business owners. I actually got some on my phone. And they were saying, hey, we've shown that we can do this for this event. And I'm hoping that we can build on this momentum. Yeah. They anticipate that some of them, because you can't have, there are police officers from all these different cities helping out.
Yeah, I want to answer that.
Yes.
So FIFA comes to town, and there is a mandatory amount of police officers that have to be on duty during a match. That is 400. So a lot of the spending on security and or law enforcement isn't just from the city. There's actual federal dollars that have come in to help with this. So where did they go? They didn't go there. I remember we had somebody on our show and says, well, you go over there and then you just kind of have them leave and stir the pot and go. They go other places. They're not in that area.
No.
So they're making sure that area is fantastic. And then when the World Cup's over, remember they're not going to have this much help with law enforcement.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a vacuum.
It is a vacuum. Yeah. And as Vince mentioned, there are some areas of the International District where they did move to.
Yeah.
So that's just further up the hill where people aren't going and you're not going to see them. Now, did I see some people stooped over in all levels of drug hell yesterday? Yes. It's just not as many.
And so when you have, Ursula, when you have activity, right? When you have a lot of activity,
and a lot of people,
things are vibrant, so you don't get that.
Yes.
Can I take you guys back to a time? Can I take you back to COVID? Can I take you back when nobody was at COVID?
Yes.
Watch this.
Yes.
Watch this. And remember how bad it looked downtown when nobody was there?
Yes.
And people demonized that place as, oh my goodness, what happened?
Yes. If you bring people and they will come and it's going to be a lot easier to not focus only on what is wrong.
You know what's crazy is how I see those same people leaning over and stuff all over in Snohomish County. All over, but I don't hear any conversations about how unsafe it is.
That's true, too. That's true, too. And by the way, I told you when I was visiting these different countries in Europe, and they have a lot of the same problems.
You know what, Ursula? I'm going to say the quiet part out loud on something. So sometimes, I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it. When I come to work here every day, sometimes I be feeling like I'm alone on a lot of topics. And I think one of the biggest reasons why that I would say you, out of a lot of people, there's others in this building too, that understand me a little bit more or understand some of the topics I talked about is because you're well-traveled. You see, people that have been born other places, people that go other places, people that get outside of their bubbles get a more fresh perspective and understanding. They get a world view on topics, right? They don't just have a Snohomish view or a Pierce County view. So this is why it's so important to travel the world and be amongst other cultures to better understand. Then that way you don't have this whole closed-minded view of the world. So I just had to just say that because you go out the country all the time.
Well, and if you can't do that, at least see for yourself and don't base what you think based on other people who have an agenda. Check it out for yourself. And that's not, again, to say that we don't have some serious problems, because we do. Okay, can people just do anything these days and most people don't care? That was your supposition. That was your sweeping statement today. Sharon says, I do care. I don't, however, live in the world of the upper echelon that seems to be able to get away with just about anything money, power, or position can buy.
All right, Ursula, it's time for your words to live by. What do you got?
Okay, this is going to be my glass half full.
Okay.
When you focus on problems, you are going to have more problems. But when you focus on possibilities, you will have more opportunities.
You might
keep your eyes open for those opportunities.
But what if there's big opportunities in focusing on the problems? Bigger paychecks. Hey, Nick, what you got? Nick, what you got? Come on.
Well, it's good to hear the waterfront turnout we've had for games has been showing us an upward trend with many teams and names. And regardless if their country wins or loses in the match, you'll be sure to see a party in our neighborhoods to catch.
We're gonna have a really good time.
And don't be surprised to see the fans in body paint with flair. Even if they see you giving them some judgment, they don't care. Body paint, face paint, hairspray paint, and the whole works. They could give 2 12th man flags for what you have to say.
Nick, I've never heard this song before.
It's cool in the gang, baby.
Yeah, it is.
It is?
I have. Hello.
Wow. I'm going to have to turn in my car for a second. Thanks, Ursula. Good stuff.
Thank you. We'll be back tomorrow.
I'm going to be back tomorrow,
Okay.
y'all. I'm going to be tired, but I'll be back. Chef, thank you, man. Nick, good stuff, man. Good to see you, brother. The Jake and Spike Show comes in next. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you had as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
Everybody, let's have a good time. This is the place where love is found. We all play a part, and if you feel it in your heart.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Do you know you can donate real estate estate, too. Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
You've got to try the new TikTok diet.
Just ask Chat.
I just take blue-green algae.
Or you could trust your gut. When it comes to your health, how do you know what's right for you? That's where Viome comes in. Viome is a simple, at-home gut health test that analyzes your real-time biology to give you personalized nutrition guidance and custom supplements. Not trends, your biology.
Learn more at Viome.com/know. V as in Victor, IOME.com/KNOW. And use coupon code VIOME50 to save $50 off your purchase.
Staples Easy Deal Days are here. Score up to 50% off more than 1,000 products in-store and online. It all ends July 4th. Staples. That was easy.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary